Lazy Susan spin around, topics lifting off the ground. Movies, music, games, and TV. Stay tuned and you will see.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Lazy Susan. My name's Todd. I'm here with your co-hosts, Adam and Derek. We're here to rotate around your favorite topics, movies, music, gaming, all the hot stuff that's going on. Welcome back. We're happy to have you all here. How you guys been doing this afternoon, evening? It's getting a little late.
A little late.
Wherever you're listening to us at this time of day.
It could be early. You never know where they're listening.
Never know.
But no, everything's good over here.
Doing good. I'm gonna test out that commenting on X right now. See how it goes.
Let's do it.
All right.
That's the way.
Post it. We'll see if we can see it in StreamYards here.
I see nothing.
Well, it took a while last time, but it took a while for the YouTube one to generate.
Populate.
But yeah, I don't see it though. I feel like it would have already been on here, but I did comment on X, so I guess we don't see X comments, so it's a little bummer.
We'll see. Yeah, how you guys been doing this week?
Good, great, grand.
You want to go first, Derek, on how you've been doing everything?
How you feeling? You feeling better?
Yeah, so when we ended the last podcast last week, I was feeling pretty sick. I was sick that day and the day prior to that, tried fighting through it, and it got worse progressively as we recorded. But today's the first day where I feel as close to 100% as I possibly can since then.
Bueno.
You know, yeah, the fam all got sick. The wife was the last one to get it, so she's fighting it currently. Kind of a bummer. We thought she was going to be able to sneak on by without catching it, but it got her at the tail end of my wave. So hopefully she starts to feel better soon.
Is this a cold?
Yeah.
No. It's never fun.
No. It's like all that congestion up in your face, and you're blowing your nose nonstop, and it's like
I know that life too well.
Yeah, I know you do, brother. But yeah, no, aside from that, everything's been pretty fine. Just sat around at home and played a lot of Call of Duty.
Hell yeah. How's that been going for you?
Good. Oh, and I played like
that Dark Matter.
Played like 4 games of Madden with Todd. Lost all of them.
Damn.
Anyway, but we play Call of Duty. Yeah, trying to grind for that Dark Matter, you know.
That's what's up.
Todd's
what are you working on right now?
The SOG, the SMG.
Ooh, the new one. Okay. Well, not the new one. I guess the community event is now the new one, but yeah.
Yeah, which I didn't know was a secondary, like it's like with pistols and rocket launchers. It's not in the SMG.
Yeah, you can dual wield it, which is very annoying. Everyone runs around with that shit dual wielded, and you can't do anything to stop it. It's so annoying.
It's crazy. I haven't played it all today though, so I haven't tried out the new map or the new zombies or anything like that.
Same here, unfortunately.
Yeah. You know, that's been my week. Nothing crazy.
How about you, Adam?
It's basically finding time to get some time in for fun and recreational games and whatnot. It's kind of been a little struggle for me this week. Been kind of feeling behind, but just on top of like work and just making sure everything with videos and social media side is taken care of. I'm getting there. Just need to get a little more used to things, I guess. But so far, so good. I made some nice changes for us. I wanted to talk about a little bit here. Now with our intros, I took out the let me apologize. Our banners that we have, I took out the other category. So now, actually, I should have had this up to begin with, but boom, we have intros now on our screen, and it doesn't take up the full side. I kind of have it fade out, which I like that look.
It's good.
And the same thing, movies, music, video games, TV shows. We'll have the special. I made a special one just for today. Boom.
Nice.
And we got another category, random. And then finally the outro.
Cool.
So I'm going to kick it back up to intros. I should have had that to begin with. My apologies. But other than that, my week's been pretty interesting. I had what you call it? Games that there was a game I checked out with the kids because it was funny. Ava caught the attention of this game called Mouthwashing. And I was like, at first I would have been like, what the hell? But it was weird that she brought it up when she brought it up because I just found out about this game due to some like controversies online people were having with it. And it was all because of to my knowledge, was just fan art of one of the characters in the game. Somebody made fan art of the girl and she had big boobs, and then everyone was going crazy about it. It started like this crazy talk about the game, but the general consensus is people love this game and it's on Steam. And I was like, all right, let me see what it's about. It's a horror game. It's really weird. The fact that it's called Mouthwash.
Wouldn't have guessed that based on the title.
Yeah, no, it's really weird. And right when I saw this, I was like, okay, I see what kind of game this is. And that was one of the like, it's mostly or overwhelmingly positive or mostly positive on Steam. But one of the negative comments was, if you watch somebody play this, you've seen the whole game. It's an interactive movie, guys. So, but it's like really short. It's an indie game. It's, I don't know if it's not technically, I don't know if you'd say it's pixel graphic, but it kind of looks like it has a style and it's like older looking graphic style.
Okay.
The story within it was really dark, and Ava was into it. So I was like, I'll get it so she can play it. We'll play it. I'll have her sit down and do the walkthrough of it. And I was reading off the voices of the characters in the game. And it got really weird because I was making up different voices for each character, if it was a woman or if it was a man or if it was a young character. But for the main character, I was just using my regular voice. And the trippy thing about that, I'll give you guys spoiler alert or spoiler warning about mouthwashing, because I don't think you or Todd will end up playing this game. So you're playing the whole game. You're a crew, a cargo crew in outer space in a ship. You're in a freighter and you're delivering. You don't actually know what the cargo is. You're just delivering a package. And you end up crashing the ship, and you guys have to survive or figure out how you guys are going to survive your rest of your days. The trip from where you were going to where you were at, like your destination from start to finish, was supposed to take over a year. It was like 300 and something days. And you were only 140 days into this trip when you crashed. And when you start the game's like, oh, you're about to crash into a meteor, like swerve away. And your main character, the only option you have is to swerve into the meteor. And then you take off the autopilot and you're purposely crashing the ship. So you're like, oh, damn. So me as the main character, I'm crashing into this ship. And then the whole story, you go thinking the captain just went bonkers and that he crashed the ship. He survived, though, because everyone pulled him out of the cockpit. And the main character you're playing as is a dude named Jim. And as the story unfolds, and he was the one I was using my normal voice for, you find out that he's the one that lost all his marbles, and he's the one that actually crashed the ship, and he's the one that's basically everyone has like a gruesome, bogus death in this story. And the captain, I even drew him. I don't know if you can see him. Yeah, there you go. That's what he looks like.
That's
nice.
After the crash.
I like it. Yeah,
and
sure.
There's parts where they're like, you need to feed him his painkillers, and you have to like open his mouth. And you have to shove him down his mouth. And the bogus thing is like you can open and close his mouth by clicking, and then you get an achievement called Sock Puppet. And I was like, that's dirty.
That's good.
That's
but
good. It was I was trippy because like the whole time I'm just saying the main character with my normal voice, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm the bad guy. So with my normal voice, I'm just like this weird, it's trippy. I think Abel was like, okay, Dad, chill. But no, it was very enjoyable with her being there and like seeing her reactions with everything, even catching me off guard. But at the end of the day, I would say it's an interactive movie more so than a game. But still pretty fun. Mouthwash. It's in the indie game.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, other than that, got a little bit to play, drove on my own, still getting further in that story. That game's hella long, a lot longer than I thought it would be. I think I'm in like act 4 or 5 right now, and I thought it would only be like 3 acts, but it's still kicking, still really good. I just got to get more time for that. And then I finally pulled the trigger and repurchased Red Dead 2 on Steam because I only had it on my console, and it was one of those games I really wanted on the PC. That and Cyberpunk, but I got Cyberpunk, I think, at the beginning of this year. And then now I got Red Dead 2 again on PC. Very happy about that. But other than that, that's my wrap up for the week.
Nice.
How about you, Todd?
I have not done honestly a whole lot this week. Play a little bit of Call of Duty. Feel like that has probably been the most of it. Yeah, just grinding out these camos, trying to get to dark matter. It feels like I'll never get there, but
Dude,
hopefully,
what
hopefully it
are
all
you
goes
on?
well. I'm doing the marksman rifles right now, so
Dude, I switched
I
out of
just finished the first one. I have to do just the gold part of the second one. I have to get the double kills, and then I'll be on the AEK.
I left Stakeout for which I heard they got rid of. Stakeout 24/7 is not a thing anymore. Yeah. But the other day I got out of it to try a different map just to get out of Stakeout because I've been doing it for so long. But it was a bigger map, so I switched to the marksman because that's what I'm gonna do after I'm done with the SMGs. And my God, a level 1 burst is god awful. That shit sucks. I was losing every fucking fight, dude.
Have you guys
It was
seen
such a
people
pain
running
in the
around with dark
ass.
matter? I'm sure you have. It's
Oh,
just
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah. And I've every once in a while I'll hop in Warzone with Andre and Brandon, and there's people running around with dark matter in that as well. They absolutely love the Resurgence. That's all they play. I mean, they play a little bit of the regular one too, but like specifically Warzone in general. Like anytime I get on and I'm grinding camos, they're like, "Get on fucking Warzone, bro."
Resurgence has grown on me. I like Resurgence. I prefer the Rebirth Island map, but it is what it is.
Is this the Warzone that dropped with Black Ops? Or I
don't know. This has been the same.
Yeah.
Well, the Resurgence map is new. I think
Okay.
that might have dropped around when Black Ops did, but the bigger Warzone map has been the same one for a little while now.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, yeah. Playing a lot of Call of Duty, playing a little bit of Madden here and there. Derek and I had some tough fought games, good games.
But who won all of them?
If I do remember correctly, I ended up having the wind blow my way on those games.
Blow my way.
So yes, I believe I did come out victorious in them. They were crazy games though. Like there was like 2, maybe even 3 games in a row where we scored above 50 points.
It was 2.
2? Yeah. It's wild. Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously I watched Arcane this week, which we'll be getting into in a little bit. But that's pretty much the bulk of my week, honestly.
Right on.
Yeah.
Oh, and just my life news. I bought a new bed.
Hey,
about that. Yeah.
What kind of bed?
Just like a memory foam, like a cooling one. It's not here yet. It won't be here until Saturday, but very excited for that.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be nice.
Very nice. That's always very exciting. It's really nice because I actually recently
I've never bought a new mattress, like a brand new mattress.
Neither have I. Well, not for myself. I did for my kids, but we just recently they just got bunk beds, so that was pretty sick.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and then Ava has like this weird. It's like a couch. At first, I was like very skeptical on this thing. It's like a couch, but it folds out into a bed. And you can fold it back into a couch. And I was like, when I unboxed it, it was all like, air compressed down, all that vacuum sealed. And I was like, oh, I'm sure when I pop this thing, it's going to wham. Because I was like this. I did it. I heard, and it just stayed there for a minute, for a long ass time until I unfolded it. It was all crumpled up. And I was like, guess we just got to wait for a while. And sure enough, after I think like a whole day, maybe later, it was like fully expanded to where it was at. And
it takes a while for those things.
I was skeptical on that. And that bed, when I like lay the kids down, I'll be laying down next to Ava, getting them all ready to go to bed. We do our little nighttime ritual. I let them all pick a song and we all watch it and then whatever. But anyway, I'm laying on the bed. I was like, damn, this thing's actually really comfy.
What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's basically been the gist of my week.
So do you have the bed yet, or it's coming in?
No, it'll be here on Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, we just went out today and got like all the new like bedding for it. So we got brand new pillows, brand new blankets, sheets, all that shit's gonna be all fresh.
You have to give us an update next week.
Oh hell yeah. Sleeping on clouds, man.
Oh,
for real.
Todd's glowing.
I'm just gonna come in here with an angelic glow.
Right.
No, you
In the
don't.
avatar state. Whoa. Are we gonna jump into our topic, our next topic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's jump into the music. We got our music. We got our year reviews. I said I was gonna fuck it, I'm doing mine live. So if I have anything embarrassing on there, we're gonna figure it out
Gonna
together.
run it. All right, let's hit this musical segue. All right. Kicking off with our year in reviews.
Oh yeah, Derek already knows his. So Derek, go ahead and do the pleasures.
Yeah, so I mean, how do you want to break it down? Just like everything, like my top artists, songs, and albums type thing?
Yeah, what you got for us?
All right. Well, so my top 5 artists are Peeling Flesh, which I'm assuming nobody knows. They're a metal band. So
I'm pretty
Peeling
sure you
Flesh.
mentioned them earlier on the
Yeah.
podcast.
They're great. They're awesome. Everybody should listen to them if you like super like I don't even know what kind of core. There's so many different metal core subgenres, but yeah,
It's one of them.
It's one of them. Is grindcore. Number 2 is Kanye West. He's there are two constants in my Apple Rewind every year, and Kanye's always one of them because I always go back to his music. I don't care what
He hasn't
nobody
even
says.
released anything this year.
Exactly.
Solid.
Yeah,
Solid.
he has. He's got a few perfect albums, and I always go back to them. No skips. It's glorious.
A few.
Easily. That's my guy right there. Number 3 is Knocked Loose, another metal band. They're actually up on the little rise right now because they just did a Jimmy Kimmel performance that some people were like, I was watching with my kids. Because there was like metal, and it's crazy that they were the ones that played live. It was dope. And he threw in, that song is great, and it doesn't have any pig squeals, but he threw in a random pig squeal at the end of the song, which made it amazing. And just to see that on Jimmy Kimmel is crazy. 4 is Avenged Sevenfold, and then 5 is a band called Boy Genius. Those are my artists. Boy Genius I learned from Haley. Listen to them mostly through her, and with the girls, they like their music. Really like kind of like easy listening type stuff, you know. And then my songs, it's all just songs from Peeling Flesh and Knocked Loose. It's just a bunch of that stuff. Yeah, I don't really need to dive into that. And then yeah, because I mean, what's the point? Is the titles are the titles. Then my top albums, number 1 is You Won't Go Before You're Supposed To, I think is the full name of it or something. It's Knocked Loose, their most recent album. The second most listened to album is The Record by Boy Genius. And then I'm still listening to Life Is But a Dream from Avenged Sevenfold. And then 4 is Denzel Curry's most recent album, which just came out like a few weeks ago. Shows how much I've listened to it. It's already in my top 5 most listened to albums. And then number 5 is Slamaholics by Peeling Flesh, because why wouldn't it be?
Of course.
Yeah. They're like my favorite band right now.
They go crazy. They're doing
I wish you
crazy
really
things.
knew what you were saying, because they do go crazy. But yeah, that's my Apple Music Rewind.
That's a dope year in review. He loves his metal.
I do.
Right on. Do you want me to take it next?
Go ahead, Adam.
All right. So we're just doing artists and music, our songs, or just artists?
However you want to do it, man.
Yeah, whatever you are comfortable with.
Okay. Let's see, for top artists. So I have number 1, Linkin Park.
Shocker.
That honestly is a shocker.
The
number 1 over the entire year?
Yeah. Top
Wow.
artist. And then following that is where my kids take in, but I also did contribute to this because that song from this artist I did enjoy a lot as well, but I know they put in a lot of time for it. Was Tate McRae, her song Greedy.
I've heard that name before.
Maybe you've heard the song, I don't know.
Probably.
But it was a catchy song. So I know I contributed to that, but I know my kids as well. So that's definitely on there. Queen Bee what the heck? Who's Queen Bee? But I don't remember. Oh, okay, never mind. Zero Ichi is an anime song. It's from Undead Unluck. Undead Unluck's first season anime song. And then
Fire.
Yeah, that song is sick.
I
love that song.
It's in his top 5.
Yeah. So then following them is Electric Callboy. And I love Tate McRae. She was number 2 on our.
I was not expecting that to be her spelling of the name. I thought it was Tate McGray.
Oh no, sorry if my
Great
pronunciation kind of misled that, but yeah,
No,
McRae. Then Queen Bee, Zero Ichi. That's literally the only song I listened to. I don't know what. So Queen Bee's on number 3 because of Zero Ichi, and that song is sick. It's definitely one of my top favorite anime songs. Then Electric Callboy is number 4, and they up and came hard for me. And like middle, I would say more towards the middle of the year, but I have like at least like 5. No, it's like 6 or 7 songs that there's like on rotation. Very enjoyable. I love them.
I think in my artist, Electric Callboy was like 12. They're in my top 15.
Oh, right on. And then my number 5 is Bad Omens.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and that was Amanda really more so introduced me to them, and that was a dope band. They've been killing it, and they have a lot of bangers. So,
hell yeah.
I'm content with this list. You know,
that was just your artist.
That was just my artists.
That's pretty solid.
The Greedy song is number 1 on as far as my songs. So, me and my kids definitely put that work on that one.
And
number
that's
2,
Tate McRae.
That's Tate McRae. Yeah,
Greedy. I'll have to look that up.
It's just a very poppy. Yeah,
I was gonna say.
Yeah. It's a good dancing song, at least for me. You know, I was feeling the vibes, love it.
Right
Number 2 was The Emptiness Machine.
Hell yeah!
Linkin
that
Park.
one broke my top 15 as well.
Number 3 on both, I guess, artist and song is Zero Ichi by Queen Bee. That song's good, man. Number 4 is A Devil by Sparkmaster Tape. That one artist I remember I talked to you guys a little while ago. I said he's the artist that sounds like he just inhaled a ton of galaxy gas and just went off. He's got like a heavy approach, but dude, that song goes hard. That's probably one of my, I would say, if I had to pick one song I like maybe put at the top, I would almost argue that Devil from Sparkmaster Tape. I love that song.
Greedy.
And then this one, the last one is not fair, but it's kind of hilarious that it's on there. So before, I'm kind of happy I brought this up to you guys because it's going to make a little more sense. I told you my nighttime tradition with my children before I put them to bed is I play the music. I let them pick music videos, pick songs. There was a time where we were just playing the same ones over and over and over again. And this one, so much so that this song made it to number 5 as my top. And it's the Mashed Taters song from the Lord of the Rings. Potatoes.
Oh, that's
boil them,
hilarious.
mash them, stick them in a stew. It's number
That's
5. So
Oh my goodness.
I'm not mad. It was
potatoes.
I like
That's great.
introducing my kids to the culture.
Right.
We were all loving it, but that's crazy that it's a number 5. So I was not expecting that, but that's why that's on there.
That's pretty great.
All right, that's my artists and songs, guys.
All right. Well, this is my first time going into it.
All right.
Do you have albums?
Oh, my bad. I do have
Albums aren't that big of
It's
a
not that
deal.
big a deal.
Yeah. Album stop album was
music, so it probably doesn't even have it.
No, it is
Garbage.
Garbage.
top albums is Death of Peace of Mind from Bad Omens.
Okay.
Then Concrete Jungle by Bad Omens.
Dang.
Oh, going hard in that.
This one's definitely Ava, because Ava was listening a little more Tyler than I was, and it's Igor.
Ava was
Ava
listening to
listened
Igor?
to Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Number 4 is
What the hell?
Finding God Before God Finds Me, another Bad Omens. And then Popular Monster by Falling in Reverse.
Damn, you were really fucking going hard on Bad Omens.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised they weren't higher up, honestly. Because
That is
song is
surprising.
great.
All right.
All right, Todd.
Well,
Let's hear
let's go.
Todd's.
Let's do it.
Mine's mixed bag.
This is your replay. Pops up.
Yeah, when you click that, that's when it does the music thing for you, though.
Ooh, yikes.
Todd's like Tate McRae.
Yeah, no, this is very, very commercial. It's kind of lame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, 21 Savage, Kanye West.
Fuck
Wow.
yeah, man.
That's the first year that Drake has been that
Drake's
high
your
up.
number
J. Cole-
one?
Yeah, I guess so.
Crazy.
He dropped a lot of music. He made a lot of music
garbage,
this
too.
year.
It's a lot of bad
Okay.
music.
Okay. Wow, top songs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Emptiness Machine is number 1.
Nice.
Heavy as the
yeah.
Crown is number 2.
Dang.
Red Rum is number 3.
What's Red Rum
You
from?
Broke My Heart
21
by
Savage.
Drake is number 4. And
Ew.
Push Ups by Drake is number 5.
Damn,
gross.
Todd was going hard on Drake.
Top
But-
albums, I'm not surprised
Park as
about
well.
that. Might Delete Later. I knew that was going to be the top
Yeah.
one. I listened to that more often than anything.
That's
Right
J.
after
Cole.
that, yeah, that's J. Cole's album that he released this year. Right after that, as expected, From Zero was up there. I'm glad that this is up there because I can say that I gave it my solid, like, good fucking chance of it.
Okay.
GNX was number 3. And then after that, same thing. I got the fucking Denzel Curry at number 4.
Fuck yeah.
And number 5 was American Dream by 21 Savage.
Right on.
Yeah. Very, very commercial. Wow, that sucks. Oh, that's cool. It breaks it down by month too.
Yeah, the monthly stuff was cool.
Yeah, that's how like I was
Dang.
worried initially when you guys brought up like we wanted to do this because I was like, I know for the longest time YouTube constantly like, here's your summer review, here's your spring review,
Right,
here's
right.
your fall review. But no, this one just says my whole year. So I was worried that it wasn't going to give me my whole year, but it did.
Yeah, no, I was looking in
Schoolboy Q was my top artist in March. Wow.
my top
Oh,
song.
that's when Blue Lips came out.
My top song in January was "Fuck This Club Up" by Nicki Minaj. I was like, damn, I didn't realize I listened to that song that many times.
My top song in January was Snooze by SZA.
Does it
Oh,
give you
yeah.
your guys like top podcasts? Or I don't know if you guys listen to podcasts.
No.
on
I
here.
don't listen to podcasts on here, no.
I
Mine
listen
does.
to podcasts, but it's a separate app.
J.
Right
Cole
on.
was April, obviously, because that was when he dropped the album.
You know, I think Denzel Curry was my most listened to artist in November, which makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
All I did was listen to that album.
You just listen to Hot Ones. I'm surprised Hot Ones wasn't on mine because I listen to that song a lot. I guess it just wasn't potatoes. You know what I'm saying?
That's so funny, dude. That's hilarious.
It was like almost every night for like more than half the year, so I'm not surprised.
Oh, I lied. It was, wow, this is very identical to last year's too. Last year's was Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick, Lil Wayne, Baby Keem. So didn't
Damn,
have
that's a big
Kanye.
year.
Wow, that's crazy.
The one that I thought was funny with mine was my top artist comparison. So this year it was Peeling Flesh with 712 minutes. Last year it was Avenged Sevenfold with 2,483 minutes.
Yeah. Now, honestly, I didn't listen to a lot of music this year too, because no one was over 1,000. Last year I had
me
like
neither.
my top 3 or 4 were over 1,000.
It gives you guys a
Yep.
minutes.
Yeah, how many minutes played?
Oh, mine just
Mhm.
give me hours. It says top
Ooh.
artist Linkin Park is 17 hours, 57 songs.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
top genre was metal, and then right after that was hip hop. Yeah, man.
Yeah, to give
Breaks everything
clarity,
down.
I'm the one with YouTube Music. Derek and Todd had Apple Music, so our reviews are gonna look different.
Yeah, and I know the popular one is Spotify Wrapped, but none of us have.
Apparently, it was
Spotify.
horrible this year. I've seen a lot of memes of people saying that they used AI to, but I thought most of this stuff was basically AI generated stuff. So I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything bad about it. I see everybody's like Snapchat stories and like Instagram stories are their rap and shit. So
Check me out.
yeah.
But yes, I did comment down, but I don't know if anyone's seen it. But if you have your year in review, feel free to drop it in the comments. Let us know what you guys have been listening to.
Please
Put us onto something.
Yeah, put us up. Put me onto something.
Yeah, save Todd, man.
Man, for real.
Todd, have you heard of potatoes? But yeah, that's as far as music. Is there anything else that like really happened lately as far as anything you guys are interested in the music world?
I was just gonna say we brought it up last week, but I have been loving the 3 mixtapes that they put on there from J. Cole. It's just been making me reminisce on how I got to where I am now with my love for his music. And
hell yeah,
that's great. And every single time when it comes to this artist, he is the only person, not the only person, but he is just the best for me when it comes to painting a picture, when it comes to words. Even when it was back then, I was just like, damn, this motherfucker was still doing this shit like this well on a fucking smaller scale. Like when he wasn't that well known. Now he's that well known and he's still doing that same shit and he just never strayed away from it. And his gun bars are always crazy. Yeah, it's dope to listen to that shit all over again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been I discovered this band today called Netherwalker. Only have 3 songs. Don't even have a full album out, but they have a song featuring Nikki Jones, who voices Chowder, if you watch that show. So for some reason he's in it, but that's only if you really like those like super metal songs. Like the lyrics sound like you're rubbing 2 bricks together. That's what his vocals sound like. It's pretty great.
I've just been enveloped in the Arcane season 2 soundtrack like nonstop. A lot of those songs have just been on repeat for me.
I have been listening to that damn Enemy song.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just because it's the intro, so it's my
really
stim.
And Jid goes crazy on it.
Yeah, I remember when we first watched the first season. Lily loves that song, and when did the first season come out? A few years ago now, right?
Yeah. Oh, I think I had it.
She was younger, and every time she sang it, she would be like, "Everybody wants to be my M&E."
Yeah, it's 2021.
Yeah, exactly. She was 4.
Damn, that's crazy. It's crazy it was that long ago. But yeah, no, definitely. I remember after that first season dropped, I had at least definitely like 4 or 5 of those songs on repeat.
Yeah, they had a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
I did play a song, was it today or yesterday? And Haley gave me a dark look. That's for another conversation.
So when we cover season 2, we'll talk about it. All right. Are we done with music so far?
Hell yeah.
Sirski.
Man, we gotta move into all these review releases pretty much.
Hop into it.
Video juegos. All right. Boom, we're here.
Boom, here. By the way,
what's up?
Green Bay lost. Fuck yeah. Just wanted to throw that out there.
All right.
That's right.
Just for all you Green Bay lovers out there.
The
free man was
sick
listening,
people.
Huh?
They're sick. But their team lost.
Right on. So
go on.
When we last week I totally wanted to cover this last week. It doesn't need like a crazy big amount of coverage, but
it needs the biggest amount of
you know what? You're right. You're damn right. It deserves all the love.
Making headlines about this.
Absolutely.
Maybe when it actually happens.
Chill.
You act like they're fucking GTA 6.
No. I'm just saying. It, like Adam said, it doesn't need all the coverage because it hasn't happened yet. So like who cares?
But it is happening, it's confirmed.
Yeah. So let's like get crazy about it when it actually happens and we can do something about it.
Without further ado, Adam.
Baldur's Gate 3 had announced their big update that we've all been waiting for, and it's going to be coming out the beginning of next year. So they did promise it was going to come at the end of this year. A little bummed about that, but they said like basically January of next year. So it'll be like next month almost.
We'll see.
And we're finally getting crossplay on Baldur's Gate 3, which is huge. There's so many people I know who have it, and I would just love to have a campaign with them and be able to play with them from PC to console.
Absolutely.
Derek, Ours is a little more. He's giving me that look because he's like, we could be playing right now, but we're in a more complex situation because we
haven't played in like a month.
Well, yes, because we have to rely on 2 other people, including all of our schedules getting all mixed.
You were the first one to say you couldn't play this week.
Yes, and that's true. I couldn't. There was too much stuff I had to get done.
That's fine. I just don't want you throwing the blame at other people.
But I can still get excited about being able to play with people on console. That's basically what I was going to get at.
If you get around to it, sure.
If I get around to it, apparently. It's life. Anyway, but they also adding photo mode, which is also super sick because there's been so many times where I'll just like, hey guys, sit right here. Remember when Todd, me, and Matt and Billy had our campaign going? I was like, hey guys, can you sit right here, play your instruments? I'm gonna take a screenshot. And now with photo mode, it'll make those moments easier to handle and make them look better, make them look beautiful. Yeah. I'm kind of jealous.
The game is absolutely beautiful in general. So being able to like have a background and being able to physically move the camera where you want it to be as opposed to being stuck on a weird access. Access.
I wonder if you can. Oh, that's gonna be fun too. Like if you're playing online with your friends and somebody has like, oh, I gotta wait. I gotta walk away from the game for a little bit. You just mess around in photo mode for a while, do different poses, take different pictures while you're waiting. I think that's another way to like kill some time while waiting for your friends.
Also, 12 new subclasses is going to be huge.
Oh, how did I forget that? That was like one of the craziest parts.
I was going to say 12
Why am I handling this segment right here, Todd? Damn. Dude, that's insane.
Do we know what they are or no?
At least one of them is around paladins and how they're kind of reworking with the because they're also going to be reworking the what is the Oathbreaker paladin, which I'm so happy because I almost
giving it more voice lines, all of that stuff throughout the campaign, so it's more it feels more worth it to be an Oathbreaker.
And I'm so happy because that was going to be the character I placed all my apples into. I was like, when I was doing my solo playthrough, I never got far enough, so I'm like, I'll just double back and start over with a new Oathbreaker paladin and see how that journey goes. That's got to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm very excited. And I have a bunch of people, I have people at work that are like, oh, I'm on PlayStation and whatnot. I was like, hey, man, one more month. We can get a campaign started. So it'll be dope. I can't wait for that to happen. Derek, you and I should start a campaign. Just you and I.
Okay.
We'll breeze through that.
That's true.
I do plan on also, again, I'm going to try to see if I can get Haley to do it because I do have it on the PlayStation.
Dude, absolutely. So. I feel like the controls may be a little weird and whatnot, but altogether, I think she would love that experience.
I don't see why she wouldn't like it. Yeah.
Like why not?
I'm almost 100% convinced that she would be like, dude, this is amazing.
So I think it'll be cool because especially like
characters' choices.
And it's the problem that we always have. It's like, oh, we can only play like 2 or at max 3 hours. Like Haley and I can spend a weekend playing the game, like we might only play like 2 or 3 hours here or there, but like a couple times throughout the day or something, or Saturday, Sunday type shit. So,
and it's
gonna be kicking you off your computer for your
games. Very easy to
give me this control.
What'd you say, Todd?
It's a turn-based game, so it's very easy to like, hey, the girls are crying. They just ran into the wall.
Right.
And even in the middle of combat.
Well, they're not toddlers anymore. They're not gonna.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just whatever.
I got you.
Yeah, never mind. Totally forgot a highlight from my intro, and it was just Azula had a musical today. We got to go.
Oh, how was that?
Like it was not like a musical. She just did like a singing at her school. We got to go there for Christmas. It was great. She was very funny.
This how she over there like
this is how she does air guitar.
Caesar
I brought that up. All right, I don't want to segue too far off, but I did bring that up to Ava because Ava's actually got to play, and she's actually going to be an angel in the play. So I'm like, dude, you're so lucky. You don't have to worry about what we had to go through. And and she was just laughing. But Azula was cracking me up because there was a scene where she had to, or not scene, but there's a song where all the kids did like an air guitar, and this is how she did air guitar. This hand for some reason was facing out, and she's like, and then and then she was shaking her butt, and I was like, oh no. She thought it was the funniest thing ever, so I was like, of course.
Yeah, but Lily said something about a musical, and Haley was like, oh, do you want to like see if you can like be part of a recital or a musical? And Lily was like, no, I just want to go see one. She was like, oh, okay.
No.
All
She's
right,
like, I just
sorry
want
about
to
this.
watch it.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Sorry about that segue.
No,
Nah,
that's
man,
fine.
you're good.
But definitely am excited for Baldur's Gate 3's newest update.
It's gonna be far.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to talk to you guys. I know you guys probably don't care, but Path of Exiles 2, and I know this is going to get Derek to be like, I hate you. But Path of Exiles 2, the reason I'm bringing it up, the reason why Derek will say he hates me is because it's looking really good. And I don't know if you know what Path of Exiles 2 is. It's a Diablo-like game. And
I
Derek
know what it
hates us
is.
all because he feels abandoned from Diablo 4.
Feels is crazy because I was abandoned.
Okay. All right. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I will not
I'm
be-
sorry. I'm
I will not be partaking in this fucking game.
all right. The
At
reason
all.
I wanted to, there's two main things I wanted to bring up from it, or it's technically three. Early access of it drops tomorrow.
Cool.
So the early access for that game comes out tomorrow. Two, the skill tree on that game is insane.
It
They
is
have like this
stupid.
picture.
It's overwhelming.
Literally,
stupid.
no character is going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, if there, I mean,
Diablo's
technically, you
was
could
pretty crazy
copy.
too.
Oh no. This
Dude,
makes
That's fine.
Diablo
That's fine. That's fine.
look
That's
like-
fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying it was crazy. Path of
Okay.
Exile, I'm sure
All
it's 10 billion times crazier. I'm just saying.
Yes.
People are saying it's the Dark Souls of Diablo games because of how hard
Don't
it is
care.
and like slower pace. I know that term gets thrown out a lot, but anyway, what's the final thing I wanted to bring up? Oh, the devs, they said something I really liked, and they said we hoped we can get look like we hope as a studio we get looked like in the same light as Larian Studios.
Yes.
And I was like, that's the gold standard. That's who you want to follow. That's the type of like promise you want to give your players. That's the type of like support and thing you want to like not copy, but like imitate in a way
Strive
that
to be.
strive to be. Thank you. That's the better term for it. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what you want to strive to be. And we've said that before when we were gassing up Baldur's Gate 3 and the love that Larian gives to that game, clearly just through all the updates and the clarity with the players. And if any studio says that, they looks at that and goes, you know what, they're doing the right thing. I want to be known for doing the same thing or doing, somewhat close to that. That's just a huge W. So
Yes, sir.
that's where my eyes are going. Maybe Path of Exiles 2 might be worth looking into. So clearly, if we do get into it, we'd have
play
to
the
do
early
some
access. It's
convincing
free.
with Derek.
I have no interest.
I have no interest.
I'll get it. We'll play it for fucking 3 weeks and then I'll be super into it. I'll fall in love with it. I'm like, this is great. And then you're all going to be like, I want to get you something else. And you'll stop playing and I'll be left alone again. And it would have been a waste of money and no thanks.
It won't be a waste of money because you still enjoy the game.
Waste of money.
So Diablo was a waste of money?
Yeah, because I stopped playing it because everyone else stopped playing it.
But you enjoyed it. You put well over 500 hours into it.
Don't care.
Did you actually put over 500 hours in that game?
No.
Oh,
probably.
It was like 2.
200 hours for
Okay.
$60 worth of content. That's
Don't care.
pretty good trade-off, if you ask
Sure.
me.
Sure.
you know who actually just recently got dogged on a game they were playing? It was Sean. He was playing this game on Steam called Return to Core or Return from Core. One of those. I think it's Return to Core. And he was loving it. He put over 100 hours in this indie game. It's like a farming type indie game where you do all this different stuff. And they just hit him with a major update. And in the major update, they're like, hey, we want to add a lot of stuff to this game. And it wipes everybody's saved data. So it is an early access game, but that was so dirty. They were like, we were extremely, we were so sorry, but this is the only path forward for us. And so he's like,
he's
I don't
done
know
with
what to
it.
do. I don't know what to do. Yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I feel so bad for him right now.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's an
That's tough.
uninstall real quick.
And the crazy thing was like nobody was like bringing that up. They were just like everybody who was like leaving reviews. There's like one person who brought it up, but they brought it up like, yeah, that does suck, but there's a lot of bugs that came with this update. It's like, dude, that should be like, I don't know. That a lot more people would have been upset about losing all their data, but the game doesn't. I mean, early access, and I think when I asked Sean to look at the player count, and I think that peaked at only 1,000, almost 2,000 players. So not a lot of people have played this game in general. So maybe once it fully releases, it'll have more people play it. But I don't know if Sean will be one of them because of what they did to him.
Yeah,
They did him wrong.
They did him dirty. Then aside from that, did you guys hear about the Juice World Fortnite skin and what they did for him? I thought that was really nice.
I don't care about Fortnite.
They had like a music video for him, and in the music video is all done in Fortnite, and all these characters are like flinging up Juice World. He had Marshmallow like throwing them up higher. They were building the Fortnite stairway. Basically, It was his stairway to heaven. It was very heartwarming. I was like, that's actually
cool.
really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just thought nice.
The children
call
do
out.
love the Juice World.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Didn't he just have like a festival?
Yes.
Yeah.
Juice World Day.
Juice World Day.
Oh, man.
It wasn't Juice World Day that happened. Oh man.
Then we have another game releasing today. Technically, it's out right now. People can be playing it, that's Marvel Rivals.
It's out right now, really?
It should be.
Yep, people are playing it right now.
I've been seeing clips already, literally right before getting on. That's why I'm interested if Todd is actually gonna. Is this something you're gonna be jumping into like immediately?
It's fucking free, yeah.
Right on.
Downloading that bad boy as
already
we
seeing.
speak.
He's like, well, let me get in. Let me get in.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, yeah, guys, I'm still in the podcast right now. But
I didn't realize it was released already.
Yeah, and then they showed Wolverine. Dude, they are staying so true to him.
He's so small.
A short, stubby man. And he's got his like hair flares up when it's his his ultimate or something. His
Yeah,
hair
I saw
does
that
the
clip.
iconic look. Yeah. That was the designs on these are really pleasing to look at. I like the way they look. They feel good as far as the visual.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play the game. It's free, so there's no reason not to.
And they started dropping the packs already. People are like, damn, I got to pay $25 for No Way Home Spider-Man and this and that. So I guess PlayStation's getting an exclusive Spider-Man skin, Scarlet Spider, I think, or something like that.
That's cool.
I don't think it's the original, though. It's something else.
They should get an exclusive for the Spider-Man being a Sony game.
But
it's such a good game.
I am kind of curious how Marvel Rivals does. I think it really puts the heat on to Overwatch to make sure their game starts to do better in the eyes of the players.
What if it's better than Overwatch?
It's possible. I don't know. I guess only time will tell.
I didn't play any of the betas, so I don't even know how the gameplay feels, honestly.
Right on. And then we have the Game Awards coming next week Thursday. If we don't cover it at all,
taking it home.
We'll be going live like we always do, but we'll see what. Yeah, we'll probably just go live after the event, depending on when the event ends.
L of a year for video games.
You think so?
Oh yeah, they might as well be giving it to It Takes Two again.
Dang!
Like, what are we doing?
For what? What is your comparison to It Takes Two?
Huh?
What is your comparison to It Takes Two? Black Myth Wukong?
My comparison is that literally no good games were released this year.
I'm sure Wukong is a great game.
I'm sure.
I haven't played Wukong.
So then why are you saying no good games?
Because I'm sorry, that's that obviously good games were released this year. That's a bad way to say it. But no good games made the list, I should say. The only good game that made the list was Wukong.
And Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Yeah.
That's not a game.
It's part of a game.
Yeah, it's an addition to a game that was already released.
And won.
Okay, yeah.
Keep winning.
Anyway,
forever.
It was interesting because
as I was saying, guys, welcome back to the Elden Ring podcast.
That's all.
And we're back, baby.
That's all I wanted.
So it's funny that
I'm never playing that shit.
You know, son of a bitch. Let me talk. On TikTok, they have a filter. The Game Awards show has a filter, and the filter is a top 10 ranking and they had the past 10 years, and I was like, dude, I feel like they were watching our video, man. They went over the past 10 years of the game award year, game of the year winners. Jesus, can't talk. And they let you rank them. And I was like, I'll just do a mock run, and I was actually content with the speed run list I created from this. You want to hear it really quick?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Number 10, It Takes Two. Easy bottom. Easy bottom.
Mhm.
Right after that, I have Dragon Age Inquisition.
Good.
Ooh,
At
Adam.
9.
Adam,
Yeah.
don't
Gonna get
don't
people
clip
mad.
this.
No, don't. Number 8, I put Overwatch. Then after Overwatch, number 7 was Last of Us Part 2. Number 6 was no. Listen, just hear me out. The Witcher, the Witcher 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then number 5 was Sekiro. Number 4 was God of War. Number 3 was Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Number 2 was Elden Ring, and number 1 was Baldur's Gate 3, baby. Easy dubs. Easy clap.
Okay.
Where do you think I messed up, Derek?
At putting Sekiro over
Last of Us?
Last of Us 2. Considering you haven't played either one of those games.
Right. Fair enough.
Right.
There's a lot of, well, I don't want to say a lot, but several games. I was comfortable with that list, though.
That's fine. Just swap those two.
Fair enough.
Last of Us 2's top 5. Easy.
You think God of War is good at number 4?
No, but that's your opinion.
Would you put God of War over Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3? Well, I guess Baldur's Gate 3 because you don't really care.
For me, for me, no. Like, I haven't played all of Baldur's Gate. I like it so far. I'm having fun with it, but I've enjoyed God of War and Elden Ring much more. Those two would be the top. I don't know which order I would put it in because I really, really, really enjoyed Elden Ring. And then when you count the DLC with it too, it just makes it a stupid, big ass fucking game. And I'm biased to the God of War story.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know which one would be number 1, but those are my top 2 for sure. And then Last of Us will be 3.
All right. Well, do you guys have any thoughts or predictions on the Game Awards? I know I keep on asking
we
you
did
guys
it.
this, but
We did that already. Yeah.
We're getting closer. Just figured. Anybody else in the comments want to say what they got? Any thoughts or predictions on the Game Awards? What's going to happen? What's going to get announced? Any surprises? Was Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree only a
I'm predicting that we won't get anything for Elder Scrolls.
No. Yep, no.
I'm
We're not hearing from that game in a long time.
That we won't get anything for GTA.
Same. I agree. I think GTA and Elder Scrolls are not going to be on there.
Yep.
And then
is because I just saw a post about everyone hyping up the GTA images that got released. That shit was wasn't it? It was a year ago now, or maybe it was just a little over a year ago. I'm just like,
a year ago.
Holy shit, man!
I didn't know how detailed people were going in on those photos.
Yeah,
someone saw the bullet holes on the side of the car and said it needs to be read in Braille, and I was like, no, they were not doing that. Like they translated into something weird, and they started looking way too far into that. I'm like, dude, you're already going in a nowhere direction with that. So stop.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But that's the fandom you're dealing with when it comes to that game.
How that shit goes. They're gonna tease you a little bit, and then it's like, oh, forget about it for the next
Rockstar
5 years.
does not care. They do not care about no Game Awards.
Shameless.
They already proved it. They dropped the GTA trailer and breaking records immediately. So they don't need the publicity of the Game Awards. They have the Game Awards needs the publicity of GTA.
That would help them.
Unless they gave them a fat check to drop a new trailer, and that would be the case. If we do see one, it's only because I don't think so either. And I think it would only be so people what should we call it? Tune in. Yeah. So I think Game Awards
for ratings.
The only way it would be on there is because the Game Awards slapped a fat check down, and I don't think they would do that. And so No GTA, no Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls, unfortunately, I don't think we'll be hearing from. I don't even think next year or the year before or
What do
year
we say?
after.
What do we say? 2031.
Yeah, what did Todd? I think Todd said it. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, honestly, I forgot the
something.
year, but yeah,
Or was it
someone go
Derek?
find
Did you
that
say it?
timestamp.
One of you guys
I
said
don't
it.
remember.
Yeah,
I know it was in the
unfortunate,
2030s.
but it's so true. Wah, wah, wah. But hey, after seeing Starfield, take your time, I guess, or do something better. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they actually can release the game that they are saying they're like, I want this to be nothing short of like a virtual reality living game without having a virtual reality headset on. Like, I want to be able to go. Yes, if I want to fucking go grocery shopping, I want to walk into a grocery store and be able to pick stuff off of an aisle and bring that shit out. Like, yeah,
that's what people want GTA 6 to be as well.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Next
for
level
GTA
immersion,
6,
right?
That's what I'm saying.
I thought you were talking about Elder Scrolls.
I thought he was talking about Elden Ring too, or Elder Scrolls. Yeah.
Wow, oh no! I'm sorry. I was talking about GTA. I'm just talking about like the immersion of that game. Oh. Same thing with Elder Scrolls 6. Yes, but I have way less hope for that one. But I'm talking about specifically for the things that they have promised for GTA 6 and how big the world is going to be and how lively the city is going to be. I expect it to be.
I truly don't think it's going to be as in like depth as you and some other people want it to be like that.
I think it is.
Will be a miss
because that would be really cool. I want it to be like that, but I don't think it's going to be like that.
Now, I think it'll be a huge miss if you can't do stupid shit that has nothing to do with the game. Like, again, like going fucking bowling. If I can't go bowling or fucking go mini golfing or some shit like that, like I should be able to do that all the fucking time and like literally like live life as a regular person. Like I should be able to get a fucking job, go be a.
That's crazy.
No,
that's crazy.
No.
For the online aspect, I 100% think that's the direction they're gonna go.
I think that's the way the game should be.
Insane.
No, I think that's exact because they've already like hinted that they're
go
doubling
get a
down
job and go grocery shopping. You're just doing exactly what Dwight did in The Office and getting a second life.
Yes,
just play. That's all it is.
Literally,
exactly.
That's what it's going to be.
Yes,
I 100% believe that's the direction they would like to go, especially once they double down on the RPX aspect of it.
That's the way I expect
it to be. If it is awesome, and I will love it. But I just
you sign in and it's like, fuck, I'm gonna go be my clerk at the fucking gas station for my 3-hour shift.
Like, damn, I'm in debt in my video game.
Yes,
that debt in my video game is causing me to be in debt in real life, and I have to constantly play my in video game self to pay off the debt that I now own in real life.
We're being funny about this, but I expect the game to be like this.
That's a glimpse of the future, baby.
Yes.
We'll be inceptioning into video games, and then there's going to be a video game within GTA that we're going to have to same thing.
So we're all going to log in online. We're all going to go to our fucking 9-to-5 jobs in the game, and then when the nighttime hits, we're all going to go meet at the clubhouse and set up a heist to go rob a bank.
And then when we get arrested, where other
people are working as at the bank, like that'll be their jobs,
and
we're gonna have to interact with them as we're robbing the bank.
Yes, and then if you get caught while robbing the bank, they're gonna find where you live and arrest you in real life.
Will people be cops too?
Yes.
So it's just gonna be
as cops.
So it's gonna be a nonstop. Every interaction is gonna be with other fucking players online.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's how it's been. That's how
right now GTA is online right now. Yes.
I'm saying as like actual workers. Well, these people are just pretending that they're working in these locations and everything. But like in the game, you're saying they're actually going to be like
they'll definitely streamline those
bank
activities.
Clerk.
Yes, they'll definitely streamline those activities to where they have some type of payoff that you're going to be like involved in.
That's asking for a lot.
I don't think so.
And I think Rockstar, as much as I don't like them for turning their back on Red Dead, they do a really good job with pushing the envelope forward. I didn't think half the stuff that would be possible in Red Dead 2 come to life. Like the wildlife still blows my mind. It's like the best wildlife in a video game right now. Things live in that thing for real. And I'm like, does this make sense? Why is this working so well? You know?
If this is a thing to where this is basically like a Second Life type thing, and you can also do GTA things, I'm sorry, they can charge more than $70 for the game.
Derek, don't say that.
They can charge more than $70 for the game, yes, but I am not paying a subscription. got me fucked up.
No, I agree with you there.
I
But
do think that's the direction they would go to.
if that's, I can see it.
Yeah.
If that's how it's good, if you're asking for that fucking much, dude, I feel like I said, I think you're asking for a lot. And to not charge people for that is crazy. To put all that into a $70 game, there's no way. That's a lot. That's a lot.
We won't be finding out at the Video Game Awards.
We won't be finding out for another 6 years.
So, other than the Video Game Awards next week, Call of Duty news. They have their season 1 Reloaded for Call of Duty arrives today. That is today. That was today.
They dropped like a new zombie map where you can get like abilities with swords. I'm really interested to see what that is.
Are those swords going to be translated into the multiplayer? Is that going to be one of those wacky weapons we've been looking for?
I doubt it.
Did you hear? Did you see one of the comments?
Maybe.
I asked on TikTok. I was like, one of the comments is like, "What wacky weapon should come to COD?" You know, dude said pool noodles, and I was like, that would be the greatest thing ever.
That'd be funny. That'd be great.
Stakeout 24/7. Everyone's got a pool noodle. You just hear a bunch of thwops.
That would be genius.
It'd be hilarious. Oh my goodness, it needs to happen. Make it happen. So yeah, and then do you guys know how they're handling the Christmas event and what comes with the Christmas event?
No, I saw something about like a big sleigh in Warzone. I just know that
it's going to be in Plunder, so they're just removing the big trucks and they're replacing it with. It's just cosmetic stuff. So
are they doing those snowball fights again?
I think
maybe.
So. There's also another thing. Oh, this is kind of strays away from Call of Duty, but everyone's starting to do the holiday skin stuff now. Derek, did you see the Madden is doing it as well?
Whoa, I did not see that.
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so everyone running around is it's a snowman in their helmet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Madden's doing that shit too.
Is that just for like superstar mode or whatever that is?
I have no idea. I just saw them talking about, I don't know if it's something you have to activate or whatever, but I think it's in the game actively right now. I'd have to boot it up and check it out. But yeah, no, so for the sleigh though, it just replaces the big truck in Plunder with that, so you're just guarding a big sleigh.
I know that they're like dropping new skins with like ugly Christmas sweaters on the players.
Ugly Christmas sweater shit.
I love that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And we're getting the Squid Games crossover with Call of
What
Duty.
exactly does that mean? Like we're going to be playing games?
Release anything with that.
Makes me excited.
The teaser trailer, but I am so interested, and with how they do like prop hunt and
prop hunt has been funny.
What's the other? Infected. There's other games inside that game that aren't just like shooting and shit like that. So they could very easily do like a red light, green light game and stuff like that. So it
can go wild. It can actually go wild. I'm actually kind of excited for that.
Because I like so it'll make the mini game aspect of it so funny. So fun.
The fact that they just specify, because I feel like if it was just skins, they would have said so. But the fact that
there's no way.
And then obviously you'll get skins as well. You'll probably get the circle, the triangle, and the X. All of them you'll be able to access. I would assume.
No way it's just skins though.
Right.
Yeah, with the way they did that trailer, it seemed like it's going to be like game modes, which makes it very exciting.
I'm actually hyped for that one. Seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't go wrong with that. And that will segue us into our next talking point.
Yes, sir.
Which will be
why we do it
about TV, y'all. Let's go. All right, rotating to TV. News about television, and starting with sorry, you can
go ahead. No, I was just gonna say while we're on the topic of Squid Games, we're just gonna jump right back into
it. Season 2.
Yeah, when you guys, because Todd was the one who initially told me about, or you dropped it in the chat about the Call of Duty Squid Games crossover, I was like, dang, when does that next Squid Games come out? I know I've been seeing a lot of promotion for it, but I didn't think it'd be coming out as soon as it was, and it's like December 26th, the 26th of December.
Yep,
we got Squid Games coming, season 2.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. I'm actually stoked for that for multiple reasons. Because one, I loved the first season; it was a lot of fun. I think the majority of it, like everybody, loved the first season.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then two, man, there's a menace in this one, and in the trailers for it, the menace he's killing it, and I hope this guy being a menace survives as long as possible because he is Top from Big Bang.
Oh, really?
He really is. Yep.
That's
I
funny.
need to see him grab a weapon and go bang, 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 and hit somebody. Oh, that'd be so great. You guys, I know you know how crazy that'd be, but it'd be insane.
Sounds crazy.
K-pop stuff,
Yeah.
man.
Shout out Top, man. He's a menace.
Is that K-pop or J-pop?
K-pop for
K-pop.
yeah, Big Bang.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the trailer, they're doing red light, green light, and the main character seems like he's trying to coach everybody, like, all right, you gotta make sure you don't move. And then you see Top's character, which his name is Thanos, apparently. So he's got purple hair. His name is Thanos, he's got purple hair. And while they're all stopped, he was like to the one girl, he's like, oh yeah, there's a bee on you, and she freaks out and gets shot. And then everyone else stops again, and then he just pushes like 3 people forward. And I was like, this dude's gonna be a menace. I love it. I was like, just stay alive as long as possible. We need you in the show as long as possible, man.
That's so funny.
But yeah, his character seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, season 2 should be great.
Yeah, that and then Secret Level coming out next week as well. December
And
10th.
Pac-Man's the first one.
Dude, I think so. Pac-Man's at first
That
I
was such a crazy trailer. To call that Pac-Man is insane.
right. Todd, did you see that?
Yeah.
That was crazy. I was like, Pac-Man. I was like, what is this? What are they doing here?
Making that look
Redesign on
cool.
Pac-Man, apparently, making him look just menacing as hell. And apparently that at first I thought they were supposed to only be releasing weekly and 2 episodes at a time, but apparently they say they're releasing was it 10 episodes or 8 episodes on December 10th. And then they'll be releasing the rest of them December 17th. So I guess we're getting a lot of the show. But then IGN also gave it a review because they of course got to see it before everyone else. And they gave it a 5 out of 10. And I read through the review. I was very skeptical. I'm like, all right, I don't, obviously it's an IGN review. We know not to trust that stuff.
They saw the entirety of the show or just the Pac-Man episode?
They saw the entirety of everything. And I can't say I quote, but it's more or less along the lines of, they said it's like, was it Love, Sex, and Robots, right?
Yeah.
They say it's basically that, but with brand IP. And
Love,
they say
Death, and Robots.
Love, is that why do you I think I said sex last time too. Love, Death, and Robots. Man, crazy.
Where's your mind at?
Where's my mind at? No. But they said it's basically Love, Death, and Robots, but with branded video game IPs. And I'm like, okay, like I
kind of what we expected. Yeah, their own stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. The person reviewing this from IGN also said it just was more about action all the time, and they only had this was the only part that worried me. They said something about 5 to 15-minute segments, but I don't know that if they meant as far as the action sequences or as far as the whole episode. If we're only getting 5 to 15-minute episodes, that's kind of
crazy.
Hard. Yeah.
Ew, yeah.
So I hope that's not the case. If that's true, that
would be hard. Very inclined or very in line with Love, Death, and Robots, though, because they have some of them are only like 6 minutes. Like some of them are really fucking short.
I was really hoping we were getting at least 30 minutes, but
that's what I was
obviously
thinking, like 20 to 30 minutes.
Right. Actual TV show length.
Yeah.
Real quick though,
that's gonna be a bummer.
Yeah.
You mentioned IGN reviews, and I know we're on to TV shows, but just real quick, and I know I'm the one bringing it up. Haha, whatever. Did you guys see what IGN rated that Indiana Jones game?
I actually meant to bring this up too. I forgot to write it down, but I love that you're bringing it up. Oh, they're giving it a 9, baby.
9.
Yeah, a 9. And
that
everyone's like,
absurd.
Okay, you gave Dragon Age Veilguard a 9, which they end up, I guess, also releasing an article later on, basically kind of backtracking all their statements about Dragon Age, which was weird. But
that is insane.
No.
I think this Indiana Jones game will hit with a lot of 70-year-olds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Anyways, I just thought that was hilarious. You said IGN reviews, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I saw that earlier." And I meant to bring it up.
When does that game come out?
December what shall we 10th? So 9th, December 9th. So next week.
Will that
Monday
be
or
considered for game of the year next
No.
year?
Oh, yes, it will. If it's good enough. I mean, if it
that's what I'm
truly is a
saying.
9,
Like
right?
it will be in that category, not okay.
Yeah, if it truly is this 9 that IGN's toting around, but yeah,
Imagine it's in there.
that's
Imagine it's a great game.
then it takes two to win. All right. So but yeah, that's secret level. I'm still looking forward to it, whether it be a 5 out of 10 or not. But once again, he was talking about too many action sequences, but that's kind of what I want. So who knows? But the only thing that would
I'm not looking for them to tell me a story about Pac Man. Yeah, let me see him gobble up some ghosts.
Yeah, whatever. These look like he's fighting creatures with swords. It's so out of line and out of pocket. You're like, this is Pac Man. Like, show me this Pac Man all the time, man.
Yeah,
bring him into the light. Yeah, and it was like, you need to feed to survive or something like that within the captions of this show. And I was like, dude, this is going hard. Like, this is the Pac-Man I want. Like, if this is the redesign for Pac-Man, dude, the next game for Pac-Man is gonna be
so good.
We're all gonna be playing like Pac-Man, right?
That's
probably it looks like that's the direction this Pac-Man lives is in, like a soul-like world. You know,
that would be fucking awesome.
Right?
Post-apocalyptic almost.
It goes next Pac-Man from software. You're like, yo.
We would all jump on that so quick.
Insane, right? And
people might be a little upset. They'd be like, "Oh, we got a new Pac-Man game. Where's Bloodborne 2? Like, what the fuck?"
Man, I'll take this new Pac-Man game like this. Wouldn't that would be the craziest twist? If like, what if that's like at the end of the trailer of this new show? It's like, by the way, FromSoft will be handling this game.
Crazy.
Like, yo.
Yeah, that would be nuts, man.
I feel like because this is kind of bringing to light a lot of promotion for these games. Like, we'll see a lot of resurgence of games if they're not already out, come into the forefront, aside from Concord, obviously. But this is obviously like a nice way to promote your game. And if you have a game that's like an older game and this is the new redesign you're looking at, this might actually be the next Pac-Man game we get, which would be crazy.
So I can't believe they didn't scrap the Concord episode.
Do me either. That's crazy.
I'm surprised that they're still coming out with it. Like, I honestly, I just would have pulled it.
Maybe they just put too much money in it. They're like, dude.
That's what I'm assuming. At this point, they're like, no, we already put 100K or whatever the case is. Like, we can't just cut that loss.
You know what I think they would do, though? I think this might be like a little testing ground. If people really love that Concord episode, what they could end up doing is like, okay, well, then we'll just keep it as an animated series on TV or whatever. And you guys can enjoy it that way.
Maybe.
Might be a way to.
Are the voice actors from there in that episode? Do you know?
That's a good question.
That's a
I'm not
question.
sure.
Because I know that was a real big thing. Was everyone was hyping up the voice actors, and the voice actors are like, "Oh, I had so much fun playing the game." Obviously, that's what they get paid to say, but still, yeah,
right. That's the way they have to act. Yeah. But aside from I am looking forward to it too, though. So December 10th, 8 episodes.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
10th.
Yeah, that's exciting. What day of the week is that?
That's a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I was just
that we all did it.
I was just about to do it, then you guys started and I stopped. I should have went Tuesday in it.
That's great.
There you go.
Okay, so we probably won't be able to finish it, but we can do a good chunk of it. I mean, if they're only like 5-minute episodes, maybe we can.
Depending, we can see next week where we're at with it, because I know we still gotta. Or I'll be rewatching season 2 of Arcane again, even though I just kind of rewatched it, but just for taking notes aspect. And then I know you'll be watching season 2 of Arcane for our review for next week. But aside from that, we could fit. I'm sure we could fit in a couple episodes from Secret Level and talk about that next week. And then aside from that, we have Creature Commandos that dropped today as well. Another
That's
release
the DC today. One, right?
That is the James Gunn's first official project as his own man inside of handling all things DC. It's kicking off the DC universe, sort of. And this is the question I kind of gave Derek, because he said the only other thing that is canon aside from Creature Commandos now is Peacemaker. But then the events in Peacemaker, aside from the Justice, aside from the Justice League, which ends up coming into the show later on, at the very end. It's like a little
very
cameo.
and yeah, it's
He said that was the
barely
only
even
thing that
part of
wasn't
it.
canon in the Peacemaker episode. But the Peacemaker episode to kick off, like you kick off Peacemaker with the events that ended from the latest Suicide Squad movie. So does that mean, because they still heavily call back all those things?
He specifically said, and then
Just Peacemaker.
yeah, just Peacemaker, and then he said in Creature Commandos, they'll refer to certain events, and that will make them canon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was to say, because as far as I know, Rick Flag is dead, but in Creature Commandos, it's Rick Flag Sr. So it's his dad. So I'm sure maybe they'll make a callback of how his son actually died, or did Peacemaker actually kill them, and they just make that part canon.
Right.
Okay. So now that I see that, we can see kind of piece things together as far as.
And you're watching Peacemaker now?
Yeah, I actually didn't watch Peacemaker at all, so I started watching Peacemaker for the first time. I'm like at episode 5. So far, so good.
And Todd, did you ever watch Peacemaker?
Nah.
No, I didn't think so. It's really good.
But after that, I'll start watching Creature Commandos. I did want to watch it today, but I figured I'd finish Peacemaker, then I can watch Creature Commando. And
Creature
they
Commandos,
dropped 2 episodes today.
Creature Commandos kind of has that like taste in my mouth to where they're just pushing it hard all the time. I'm seeing a lot of advertisement for it, and that gives me that thought like, oh man, it's probably not going to be good because I'm seeing it everywhere.
It's crazy. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen shit from it.
Really? I'm even seeing it at work, like on
advertisement.
ESPN. Like they have commercials on TV for it.
That's
and stuff.
crazy.
Yeah.
The most I've heard from that is talking to y'all about it.
And I thought it was interesting that, you know, this his first official project is going into the animated world of DC, which is they always dominated at. So
Always.
And I have a hot take here with talking about DC animated shows. And that's my hot take is about the Teen Titans and how the best rendition of Teen Titans is Teen Titans Go. And it's by a long shot. And that's how I feel.
I have to tell people this all the time, and it's always met with people just disagreeing. And it's crazy because none of them watch Teen Titans Go.
Right. So this is what I'm saying. I feel like you need to mature to a certain standard you just need to mature. Guys, just grow up a little bit. I feel everyone who is skeptical about Teen Titans Go, if they gave Teen Titans Go the time of day, they would actually find out like, hey, I really enjoy this.
Great. It's hilarious.
You could still love original Teen Titans and give Teen Titans Go the time of day and respect it for what it is. And it has all the original voices from Teen Titans that we grew up with. Our people in our, age generation, our age, range. Teen Titans Go is absolutely killing it right now. And they still are. And guess what they just celebrated? Their 400th episode. And in this 400 episode,
already?
Yeah, 400 episodes, 8 seasons, 25 episodes a season. They celebrate this, and it's like at an award show. And I watched the episode because I was like, I got to see this. I was cracking up. They go and get an award for best animated or longest running animated DC series. And they're like, we're DC's longest animated series. We're DC's longest animated show. And Superman is sitting front row and he is seething. He is like getting boiling red hot, pissed off. And unfortunately, Static Shock took a stray from this interaction because the Teen Titans are being the Teen Titans. And they were like, our show has been running longer than your show. And they point to Static Shock and he's all like, no, that's just rude. And then they're like, and it's been running longer than the Justice League. And then that's when Superman really gets pissed off. And the whole thing is Superman banishing them to an alternate dimension to where they would lose their budget because he puts them in the stop motion universe.
Hilarious.
And because stop motion is the most expensive form of animation that they're going to lose their budget. And the whole part was just hilarious. They go throughout this whole journey about how they can save their budget and whatnot, and Superman ends up still trying to take them down, and it ends with him lamenting. He's like, all right, you guys are really great, like you should come back with me. He opens up a portal. He's like, we'll do the Justice League friends with the Teen Titans Go, and he's like, it'll be great. And then Robin's all like or not, and he like jump kicks him into the portal, and Superman's like, curse you Titans. But Robin straight up kicked Superman into a portal. I was like, dude, Robin from Teen Titans Go, man. He's goated.
Yeah, one of my favorite moments was when they like changed the time and everything, and Batman didn't lose his parents or whatever, and then they had to go fix it. Yeah, the movie, and then they had to go back and fix everything, and they push his parents into the alleyway, and you just see gunshots, and he's just giving a thumbs up.
They put pearls on the mom too, and then they push her.
Yes,
so dirty, dude.
Oh man,
I'm telling you, millennials, you can still love Teen Titans. You got to give Teen Titans Go a chance because it is absolutely a masterpiece. It is hilarious. It's voiced by all of our favorite characters who voiced the original.
They even have episodes where you see the old animation.
Yes,
they meet each other.
They make references all the time to it. Yeah. And it's funny because I've seen people go up to what's his name? It's Greg Sipes, the guy who voices Beast Boy. They're like, "Oh yeah, you used to voice Beast Boy." He's like, I still voice Beast Boy, man." And it's like, dude, all of them are Tara Strong, Goated, Raven, just all of them.
Yeah, Tara Strong been doing voices for a long time.
She's practically our childhood as far as voices go. And yeah, it's all of our favorite, like, guys. I'm telling you, just give Teen Titans Go the time, and you guys will find out that this show is actually hilarious and awesome. It's just great. It's a great experience.
Yeah,
TEENCITANS.
Always makes me laugh.
But aside from that, we can finally go into our main event.
Arcane.
Where is it? There it is. Bam! Now we will be reviewing Arcane Season 1. That's what everybody came here for. We want to hear Todd's thoughts and the whole process of everything going on. So before we kick off this review, I would like to let everyone know that we are going to be breaking this down into 3 arcs. Thankfully, the show or the season, the way Arcane released, already broke them down into 3 arcs. So it might be a little easier for us to digest and break it down for everybody and everyone else to follow along. But absolutely, anybody who's watching this right now, if you have any thoughts about things that happened in Arcane Season 1, spoiler alert, so expect that. But if you have any thoughts and want to join in the conversation, feel free to drop in some comments. We'll read them. We love hearing from you guys. We definitely respond to you guys. We love to hear what you guys think about everything going on and your thoughts. 100%. And we'll do the whole review of how the season went, following the 3 arcs, and then afterwards we will give our reviews and our thoughts, and then we'll give our what we expect for season 2. And so without further ado, are you guys ready?
Oh yeah, kick it off.
Oh yeah. So okay, Arcane Season 1 released in 2021 on Netflix. All right, it's based off League of Legends by Riot Games, and the creators are Alex Yee and Christian Link. All right.
Oh yeah. Of the show or the game?
Of the show.
Gotcha.
They are also developers into the game as well. So
cool.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Sick.
Yep. They were also granted 4 Emmy Awards in 2022 for this show, for this first season. And the first film project from Riot Games, which I feel like everyone who kind of figured, right? I don't think I've heard anything from Riot Games as far as other shows or movies or any projects they've been working on. It could be wrong, but I think, that's what the internet says. So I'm going to take it at face value. So Act 1.
Law.
It's law. Oh yeah, it's law now.
Said it.
The internet said it. Yeah, that's right. You're right. All right. Oh, so Arcane takes place within 2 cities and in the world of Runeterra. It's the League of Legends world is Runeterra. The 2 cities it takes place in are Piltover and Zaun. And it's a story about struggle, a struggle between poverty and wealth. And all the decisions and actions that take place in this show are direct results of said conflict. And to kick off, Act 1.
Some might say it's a show about war.
That was Todd's guess, by the way, everybody. He said what we asked him last week what he thought the show was about, and Todd said war. But
I don't
you know
think
what?
I was completely wrong about
You're
that.
not completely wrong. I'll give you
It seems
that.
like it's a civil war.
Absolutely it is dealing with. I mean, even prior to the events that
Yeah.
all take place, there was definitely war, like a civil war going on as well. So it's kind of always been dealing with like this civil unrest and civil war going on. So you know what, Todd, I'll give you like half points.
I wasn't gonna rest without getting that dub.
He said, "How hard I gotta reach for this shit." All right. So we jump into it. We are introduced to 4 children who grew up in Zon. Zon, out of these 2 cities, out of Piltover and Zon, is the more of the lower class city where they deal with a lot more atrocities from the bigger city, Piltover, the wealthier city, Piltover. They deal with like the wrongdoings and kids. There's 4 kids that were introduced in Zon, and they're directly what's the word I'm looking for? Impact. Thank you. I can't think today. No, yeah, they were directly impacted from the life they've lived in Zon and dealing with Piltover and whatnot. Say the wrongdoings that Piltover has done them. So they are young scavengers. They want to like right the wrongs and do what they got to do to survive. So they take on this job to steal some items from this apartment that was unguarded in Piltover. So they go from Zon. These 2 cities are divided by a bridge. Well, that'll come into play later on. But yes, these 4 kids that we meet, and their names are Violet, Powder, Clagger, and Milo. And they all have like different skill sets, I'd say, that they've learned throughout their rough upbringing. You have Milo, who's really good with the pick lock, or trying to be better. You have Violet, who's a big brawler. Clagger, who's also kind of a brawler, but more of like a steadier build man or a young man. Still a kid. But they all parkouring throughout the city too. And you have Powder, who's really good with tinkering with stuff, or at least going to be, I suppose. She's got a lot of little failed experiments going on. Yes, this is all spoilers. I mean, I thought we already covered that.
I know, it was a joke.
But anyway, we meet them and they have their first job, or not, I wouldn't say first job, but they have this big job of stealing some items from an unguarded apartment in Piltover, and things go wrong. Things go really wrong when one of the items they have to mess with is a crystal, blue crystal they don't know much about. And it accidentally gets knocked over, falls over, hits a wall, and explodes damn near the whole apartment. The kids survive and make it out and run away. And they are chased, and all eyes are on 4 ruffians that now caused an explosion in Piltover. You guys have any thoughts on how that all played out?
It was pretty solid intro so far. Like I was still trying to figure stuff out and see where everything was going. So yeah, it was pretty straightforward. I'm not going to say straightforward because I was still confused about a lot of stuff, obviously. But
Sure.
Yeah, no, it was like it was good intro.
Right on. And then following their botched job that they did, they were still able to get away with quite a bit of items from this apartment. A lot of expensive things they could sell for a better life, and several of those crystals that they know nothing about yet. But we don't know that yet actually until later on, sort of. But they are met in the streets of Zon, or I think it's Zon, or maybe on the outskirts of Zon or Piltover, one or the other. But there's other ruffian kids who see that they have stuff, and when they were put there to say, hey, when they finish this job, jump them and take their goods. And they scrap, and we get to learn how the lifestyle these kids have, and they throw hands, man. This show did a really good job of when hands are thrown. They're not holding back. They're kneeing each other in the face. They were just dropping elbows and everything, getting really, really roughed up. These kids are beating the crap out of each other, for better terms. But yeah, so they beat these kids up. Powder ends up running away with the goods, and to save her own skin, because her bomb she tries to throw at the person chasing her does not work. She's not really good yet. So she ditches the goods, tosses the bag over the edge, and they lose all the goods they worked to steal. And everyone, all the kids get upset with Powder, calling her a jinx, that she jinxed the mission. She botched it. She screwed up. So they blame it all on her. Powder's her older sister. I should have probably stated that. The sisters are Powder and Violet. And
Violet's the older
Violet's
sister.
the older
Violet's
sister.
the older sister, yeah.
So Milos is the real one accusing Jinx of being a Jinx. He keeps on saying it. She said, "You're a Jinx. You screw up every mission. We shouldn't even take you with us." Throughout the series or throughout the beginning intro, we see that she needs a little more help. She's a little younger, a little more scrawnier. She's not really good at fighting, but she's good with tinkering. She's really smart. She's got a good head on her shoulders. So she's accused of being a Jinx, and they have to walk back home with no goods. And they walk back home to the Last Drop. It's a bar that their acting father figure works at, named Vander. We're introduced to Vander. He's one of the main dudes keeping Zaun in line, in check, keeping all these citizens in Zaun happy and out of trouble. And
good old Vander.
Yeah. So we meet Vander, and then we're quickly introduced to Silco as well. We find out that Silco is kind of like the other half of the glue that keeps Zaun together, but he keeps it together through more so intimidation and power. He's more of like a kingpin. Yeah, he's like a kingpin of Zaun, keeping things together on more the crooked side, while Vander is keeping it together on more of the civil side. Both Vander and Silco both have visions of prosperity for Zaun, but they just have two different outlooks of how to get that prosperity. After that, we are also introduced to Jace. He's an aspiring scientist, and he was the owner of the apartment that blew up. And because the events that led to his apartment blowing up caused the city and the councilmen to keep an eye on, say, who was this guy's apartment that blew up in Piltover? Like, what the heck's going on? Why did it blow up? So they sent in some of their top enforcers to take a look at that, the warden and one of the councilmen's students named Victor, to go check on this explosion. And that's when we were introduced to Victor and Jace. And Jace he's aspiring scientist because as a child, he was saved when him and his mother were like dying in a blizzard. There was a wizard that popped up out of nowhere with rune magic and saved him and his mother. Absolutely. He came out of nowhere. RKO out of nowhere. No, but Jace was saved by a wizard. So he dedicated his whole life to saying, hey, that was crazy cool. I need to be able to create magic so I can then make everybody's life better with magic, because my life was saved by magic. So I want to save other people's lives with magic. The warden and Victor see that he is in possession of restricted items and that he shouldn't have access to. So then he's got to get locked up and put on trial, stand trial for having said items and this research that is restricted. He shouldn't be having these things. All right. And then we have Silco. He is in talks and working with a Dr. Revik, and they're experimenting with something called Shimmer. And to our knowledge, what Shimmer does is it hulks out creatures that take it. Anybody that takes it right now just gets hulked out. And after the event, I'm kind of just going how this is all played out. I just kept on hitting up highlights. If you guys want to add any more to any of these parts, like if they're like, oh yeah, that was pretty crazy. All right. So this next part was Victor saves Jace from taking the leap. Jace,
you haven't said anything that has gotten to me having to put my 2 cents in yet.
Right on.
So,
all right.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I just feel bad if I'm rambling.
No, you're good. For me, I didn't have anything that stood out until episode 3. Like I was talking to Ann, and I was like, I'm just waiting for this shit to like get interesting because it didn't get interesting until episode 3.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll kind of power through this then. I mean, we're getting like the cliff notes, but I feel like these are kind of like important little cliff notes that bring us along the way. All right. So we're back to Jace. Now that we know that Silco's working with Shimmer with Dr. Rivik, we're back to Jace, who now is standing on the edge of his blown up apartment, knowing that he needs to face the council. Or actually, sorry, they took all his stuff. I messed it up. Whoops. Jace did stand trial, and he was facing exile, but was saved from facing exile. Instead of being exiled, he was forced to just go back, live home with his mom, and have to give up all his research and never research hex tech ever again. All these this rune magic ever again. So that was his whole life purpose, and faced with losing everything of his life's purpose, he decided to just stand at the edge of his apartment and was about to take the leap until Victor approached him and saved his life. He was like, "Hey, what you doing?
What
I just want to let you know what you were doing here was pretty hot. I like what you're doing here. I like this research you got going on here. This book you got here, you signed it with all your notes. I like it. It's good. I think you're onto something." Victor was like, "My life sucks. I'm dying. I'm sick." He's like, "I can use any type of research you got going on right now." And basically was like, "Dude, we can partner together. Let's do this together. I know it's bad," but he said, when you're gonna change the world, you don't have to ask for permission. That's what Victor said to Jace. So
That's right.
they agreed to work together and become partners on researching these ruin magic. All right. So because of the events of the explosion, the city keeps on pressing Vander, since he's like one of the top people keeping people together. The city understands, or Piltover understands that. So their warden keeps on pressing Vander about, "Hey, you need to do something. We need answers for this. You need to turn somebody in, because we're not just going to let an explosion go unanswered."
Right.
So as they keep on pressing him for this, Vander's made it very clear that he's not going to give away any of his people. And Violet hears that, and there's a lot of conflict with Violet and all that. She's like, "Dude, we can't be letting these enforcers from Piltover just walk on us. You need to stand up for something. We need to fight." Vander, he then kind of has a sit down talk with her, explaining why things, if they escalate to that, will only lead to ruin, and you'll lose the ones you love most.
Mm-hmm.
So he convinces her that. So her idea was to take the blame and sacrifice herself instead. So she got the call out to the enforcers to go and turn herself in. And on the way there, Vander finds her there, and he tries to stop it. He says that she's crazy, like, "Hey, listen, this is the direction we need to go. I'll be the one that turns myself in." So he goes to turn himself in, and that's when Silco comes back with a shimmer beast that kills the enforcer and Benzo. Because Silco's also working with a dirty cop that's within the enforcer ranks, named Marcus.
As there always is.
Yeah, so there's a double agent within it, but working with Silco. And Silco's shimmer beast kills the warden and Benzo, who's the owner of a shop, who's like kind of like one of Vander's best friends and father figure to Echo, who we'll talk about later. And so Benzo dies there, and that's where the warden dies, and Vander is captured. And this is when we get closer into episode 3, is Vander's captured. This all happened in front of Violet. Violet's like, "Okay, dude, I need to, like," she cries hard, because obviously she just watched somebody she cares about die, and her dad get taken away, basically. As we go back to Piltover's world, we see that Jace and Victor are trying to sneak in to get all his confiscated experiments that were going to be destroyed. Mel catches them. Mel is a counselor on the board, and she's intrigued with all this stuff. During the whole sit down with Jace, even though they voted for him not to be banished, but all his experiments to be taken away, she was still very intrigued with his research. She sees that he's very passionate, and she wants to see more from it. And she tells Victor and Jace, "You guys have one night to do what you got to do. If you could do that, I'll take care of it. I'll give you guys your time you need to work on it." Now, Vi sets out to rescue Vander, and she takes Milos and Clagger and tells Powder she needs to stay home. She's too much of a risk to take with them, and she doesn't want her to get hurt, because it's a dangerous mission. She's going into Silco's lair, and he got people.
And Jinx, dangerous people. Powder's a child.
Yes, these are still there's still all 4 children right here, and Powder's the youngest.
Yeah,
so Violet's really looking out.
It makes sense to keep her younger sister away.
Right. She's worried about it. And Violet does not Powder does not like that. She is very upset. She wants
Which I also understand.
Right. So she has a mental breakdown of how she wants to get in there and save everyone. The looks you guys are giving, I can't wait for this. This is going to be wonderful. All right, here we go. So Team Vi so Violet and her team make it into Silco's lair. They find where Vander's at. They're making moves. They're making it quick. They have Milos on the lock picks to unlock Vander, who's sitting in the seat. And you have Clagger ready to break down a wall. And while Violet is throwing hands, she is knocking out full-grown men. She's using these gauntlets that Vander used to use when he used to fight. And she is just knocking them good.
Yeah, she got them gloves though. She doesn't have them. Is she really going to be taking them out?
I mean, she know how to throw hands. She's been her whole life throwing hands. Right. These things do give her an edge, but that's, she needs something. She's a kid, man.
A massive edge.
She's a kid going against adults. She needs this edge.
Okay, yeah. I'm just saying. Don't hype her up too much. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
A little too much credit.
So during this conflict, Violet has the upper hand. She's taken down all of Silco's men. And while this is happening, Silco sees this and he sees that she's a problem. So to deal with this problem, he injects one of his little lackeys with Shimmer and gets them to Hulk out. Now this is where she loses her upper hand. This thing destroys her. This thing beats the dog crap out of Violet. So Violet is left with nothing else but to retreat into the room where Vander is and lock herself into the door. As they're doing this, Clagger's making good way on breaking through the wall. And Milos has unlocked, I think, 2 locks by now. He's doing his little lock pick and stuff. But what we did see on the sideline while all this was playing out was Powder, against Violet's wishes, still went out to this hideout with her new bomb that she built with the hex.
So proud of herself.
Hex stone that she grabbed.
Genius.
Because she remembers the explosion that happened and was like, you know what? I could put this in one of my bombs I make. So she brings that along with her.
Why wouldn't you?
And then this was where the big twist and turn of the season. This is where I think, like Todd said, this is where, it started to get interesting. I think this twist a lot of people did not see happening. And this
unfortunate things happen.
Powder lets one of her little bombs. It's a walking monkey bomb. So it's walking with the little ching, ching, the clanks. And as it's going through, it clanks on the hex crystal right in front of the hulked out Shimmer Beast, and it causes a massive explosion. They play this explosion, I think, 3 times because there's different things that happen because of the explosion. The first thing that we see,
cool scene. I like
the scene was shot beautifully. I did want to definitely highlight that. Especially, it's really messed up because it's like so dark and twisted, but it's also very beautiful. It is. So the first explosion we see is the explosion hit the Shimmer Beast, make him go flying, go towards Silco, and Savika, one of his other henchmen, jumps in front of the way, and she gets her whole arm blown off. The explosion plays back again, or after that happens, we see it also explode a ton of shimmer leading up to Dr. Revik, who's down working on experiments, and he gets blown up as far as we know. Then it plays again, and we see the explosion hit the door, explode the door through. Violet gets pushed back, Milos gets pushed back, and Clagger gets pushed back. Clagger gets hit immediately, like in the head or something like that. He's knocked out on the ground. Milos gets put back, and a pole goes right through his chest, and he looks up, and the ceiling collapses on him and Clagger, killing him and Clagger. These are still children, so this shit was crazy. When I first saw it, I was like, yo, this is not happening. Vander also gets pushed back, but is still alive. After the explosion, we also see it play one more time. We see Jinx falling back, and we see the lights flying all around her in that cinematic.
Who falling back?
Powder.
Oh, sorry, Powder. My bad.
I did it too.
Yeah, I know. I got it.
It's okay.
We're gonna get comfortable with that other name real soon. Let me tell you that.
Yeah. This is all gonna end pretty soon here.
So, after the explosion, Violet is stuck underneath like a big metal sheet. The thing that was crazy, as much destructive force was put through that blast, that Shimmer Beast took all of it and was still alive.
I did not understand that.
When I first saw it, I was like, how? I was like, Shimmer must be one hell of a drug, man.
For real.
So, as that's so that's happening. Vander, we don't actually see him come back. Actually, Vander comes back first. He confronts Silco, or he removes the sheet off of her, or something like that. But he confronts Silco. Him and Silco exchange words. They used to be best buddies, but now they're not. I'm just joking. That's a Frozen line. Anyway, they used to be like brothers. And it shows how Silco. Did you just get it or something?
No, and she's watching, but she is delayed for her, and I just saw her reaction to it.
Sorry, had to be corny with that one. All right. So yes, they used to be best buddies, but now they're not. All right. So Vander is now like they show the flashbacks of how Vander and Silco, you know, they used to be great, but then now they separated. They had like a really bad disagreement that led them fighting to like almost damn near death, like trying to kill each other. Silco got a gash in his eye and got pushed into this dirty river water, and that's why he has a really corrupted looking eye and face, side of his face. And he survived, obviously, but him and Vander still had different ways of thinking. He still wanted Vander to still work with him. That's why he kidnapped him. He wanted to talk him into still working with him. Clearly, things didn't go right. But after the explosion, Vander gets back up, and Silco stabs him right in the back. And then I think he stabs him maybe one more time, and then he pushes him off like this bridge area. Vander falls.
Symbolic.
Yeah.
The backstabbing.
Yeah, it was. The way he hit it, too, was nasty. So Vander falls, and you're like, damn, he just killed him. That's when we see the Shimmer Beast is still alive. And that's when I was like, dude, this is crazy. He shouldn't be, because that was crazy. He tanked that shot, man.
He took basically the entire force of it. Like, he was looking at the bomb. Everyone else was on the other side of a wall, and everyone else was like
across a little walkway.
Yeah, across
bridge,
right? Yeah. Like,
yeah.
He looked at it and was like, huh.
So, yeah, he's still alive. And then he sees Violet struggling because she's underneath some rubble. So as he's about to get her, we see that Vander, where he fell, was where there was a bunch of shimmer. So, and before just dying there, he decides to take and inject himself with shimmer. He becomes a big hulking beast. And dude, that was a nasty kill when he grabbed that other shimmer beast and was like, cracked him. Yeah. I was like, yo, that was sick. That was a good shot. So then he decides he's at a crossroads where he either can go after Silco or save Violet, because there's fire building up from the explosion and she's still underneath the rubble. So he needs to make a quick decision, and he obviously goes to save his daughter. He takes her, jumps out the building, explosion leaves out behind them. He falls to his death, but he saves Violet in the process. So Violet sees Vander dying there. She goes to mourn him. As she's like mourning him, his dying words are, take care of Powder. You know, he wants both his kids to be fine. And that's when we hear Powder's excited expression of, it finally worked. Violet, it finally worked. Or Vi, it finally worked. And my bomb finally worked. And that's when Violet puts it together. Jinx was the reason for the big explosion that killed their friends.
Powder.
Sorry, Powder. Damn it, dude. Who is this Jinx? I don't know. So she sees that Powder was the direct result of this. And she's overflowing with emotion. She basically just lost her father because of all this. And Jinx was like, Powder is like, damn. Yo, somebody take over this storytelling for me. Now, Powder is she got all this excitement just to get it shot down. Obviously, she just found out what she just did and is like trying to comprehend it. While she's trying to comprehend it, Violet's like, no, you know what? Miles was right about you. You're a Jinx. You're a screw up. And she's like, please, sorry, Violet. And Violet punches her or smacks her, hits her hard, and pushes her to the ground.
Punched her in the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
She punched her little child sister in the face.
Yes, so Derek said.
Yeah.
And she basically, calls her all those names, says you're a Jinx, says like, I can't believe you did this, all this and that. And Powder's all like, please don't leave me. She's crying. They're both crying from what just happened. And Violet's like, I can't even look at you, basically, and walks away from her and leaves her in the rain, dark, after the explosion in this alleyway. So Powder's left there crying all by herself, and Violet walked away. And as Violet walked away, she's sitting down and she looks back and she notices that Silco and his goons that are still alive approach Powder. As she goes up to say, no, Marcus, the dirty cop, comes up from behind and he chloroforms her. He hits her with that. And he goes, he'll kill you if he finds you. And that's all you see from her. So she gets taken out of the story. Then you get to see how Silco then adopts Powder. And he says, we'll teach them all who turn their back on us, because he's like, where's your sister? And she's like, I don't have a sister anymore.
That's right.
And aside from that, before that actually happened, I forgot to bring up that Jace and Victor did have a breakthrough with their hex tech technology and were able to make the magic happen. They were floating in their office. So at the end of Act 1, we had the kids go through some atrocities, and then we had Victor and Jace breakthrough with hex tech. How do you guys feel about the ending of Act 1?
Go ahead, Todd.
So you
So
said this is where the show got interesting, right?
this is where the show finally like took off, and I feel I thought that I was not the only person that saw that coming. I knew those fuckers were gonna die.
Really?
I saw Vander coming, and I was like, these I have no like
Emotional
tied.
attachment?
Yeah, like I don't care
Oh.
about these fucks at all. Like they're gone. And yeah, so I maybe I wasn't like as shocked when it happened. Vander, I expected him to die too. It was giving very much of the I don't even know his fucking name in the first season of Game of Thrones. I felt very
Ned
much like him.
Stark.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They're like,
Okay.
oh, they're fucking building this guy up. He's gonna be the guy. He's the big leader, dude. I'm like, nah, he's not gonna be shit. Like he's gonna
An
be a
honorable
little
man.
bit-
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I saw that coming. And I'm the theme going forward for this show is just fuck the two main characters. I don't fuck with either of them. I don't fuck with
Really?
Violet, and I don't
Oh.
fuck with Powder, who becomes Jinx
Jinx.
in the future.
Oh.
Violet, I think both of them are very stupid. And sure, they're children. Blah blah blah. Fuck all of that. Violet is the reason that all of this transpired in general, but she's the reason that what's his face Benzo got killed, and the other lady, I can't think of her name, the warden lady. Yeah. That scene also was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Like fucking
That was
zipping
quick.
around
That was
and
when I
shit.
didn't
was
see
like,
it happen either. I was like, "Ooh."
what's going on? But yeah, so Violet is the sole reason that I mean, again, that's why we have the show, but it's her fault to start off from the beginning. And holy fuck, Powder sucks. Powder sucks. I don't care. She sucks. She's the biggest whiny bitch. Oh my god, everything is poor me, blah blah
She's a
blah.
child.
Help me. I don't give a flying fuck. You have a rough upbringing. Get it the fuck together. You have been doing this for 8 years now. You're fine. Get it the fuck together. You don't need to be crying about all this fucking bullshit. You've seen this shit in the streets every single day. There's no reason for you to be crying. So for them to be collectively as stupid as they are growing up in the streets and not having the street smarts pissed me off the entire fucking show. Holy fuck.
Okay.
And their fucking relationship of I love you, but I hate you, but I love you.
Okay.
Oh my god. Yeah. No, I saw the kids dying. I saw Vander dying. I hate the two main characters. Go on.
So far, of course, right?
Right. So
Right.
far. Yeah.
All right. I like how after Act 1, it kind of set the tone of, you know how people say you triumph in the face of adversity? I think it did the opposite. It was like failures in the face of triumph, because like you had these moments where like there's hope and there's promise, and they jingle those keys to snatch them away from you. Like, no, there's not. It's gonna get worse from here, you know.
And that is a great way to say it, is it's going to get worse from here. Because I was thinking, like Derek said, they're children. It'll get better. I was wrong. Go on. Derek, how did you feel about Act 1?
Powder / Jinx can do no wrong. She's the greatest part of this show. And I hate Violet with all my heart.
You mean
Okay.
Powder / the Lady Joker?
Jinx. You can call her
The,
whatever you want.
the Lady Joker.
Let's not
Sure,
get too
call-
far.
call-
We're only
call her
talking
what you
about
want,
Act
that's
1,
fine.
fellas.
That's totally fine.
Sorry.
We don't know who
Hold
Jinx
on,
is, even though
hold
I've
on.
said that name a
Hold
lot.
on,
Right.
hold on. I don't care. You can say whatever you want. She can do no wrong. She never has and never will.
Mhm.
And Vi sucks forever and always. I hate Vi with all my heart.
All right.
Both of them suck. Jinx is just so much like bottom of the barrel.
That's okay
Trash.
for you to think. I disagree.
Go on.
That's all.
All right.
Adam, how did you
No.
feel about Act 1?
Oh, I told you that's a great way to set the tone of the show.
Going crazy with the kids and whatnot.
Yeah, I was not expecting that to happen with the kids, honestly. I was like, I was thinking about, because I knew there was a time skip. I knew there would be one, because the way the show was marketed at the time was like kind of showing that there would be one. So I was like,
I didn't
oh,
even
fun.
realize there was a time skip, but it made sense after that. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I remember when I saw the mark, because I watched this when it
It's,
first
what,
released.
7
when it
years?
released. These were the first 3 episodes it released. What's up? I'll get to that. Yeah. But
And
go ahead.
just
Keep it in
her
Act One.
whole her whole fucking reasoning for even going there in the first place, her being powder, like, oh, I'll show her, like, I can make it work. Like, no, what the fuck? Why during the biggest fucking thing of all time are you gonna try to go there and fuck it up again? Why?
She wasn't trying to fuck it up. She was trying to prove she could do something. It's not like
And
she went there to fuck it up.
She did prove that she could fuck it up.
Yeah. It wasn't her intention, so stop acting like it was. Move on.
Really quick, people who are watching, we're live right now on YouTube and on X. Feel free to jump into the comments and let us know. Do you agree with Todd? Do you agree with Derek? Because that's what I would like to know. This is great. So definitely feel free to jump in the comments. We'll read them off. We'll shout you out. Everything. All right. So after Act 1, we get into Act 2, which is our time skip. I had to look this up because I was like, what is the actual year? And I guess there's no defined time skip jump, how many years passed, but there's a rough estimate of either 6 or 7 years. And I was like, okay. And I guess it's also been stated from the creators and the creators of League of Legends, time works different in the world of Runeterra. So 6-7 years could be way different than our 6 to 7 years. So we open up to Act 2 and we see that there has been a time skip. And in this time skip, the Hex technology that Victor and Jace have created have opened up a new world of possibilities for Piltover. And we were met into a shipping yard of airships going into Piltover. And in that airship is a bunch of people from Zaun. We see Savika, and we see them getting a shipment of Shimmer from the city. When this shipment's getting loaded, they're about to take off, and they get attacked by the group of Firelights. Now, this was a cool-ass entrance when it happened. The way they come out of the metal pipes on their hoverboards, the hoverboards go hard, the fits go hard. It was just sick.
Oh boy, Eagle One.
Oh, we're talking about Eagle One, baby. But yes, that when I remember when I first saw that, I was like, dude, that's sick. That's if I was in this world, I'd be a Firelight. I want a hoverboard. Hook me up. So we get our first look at Jinx. She's on board of this shipment of Shimmer, and she also defends it in a very sporadic and crazy way.
Idiotic.
She's dealing with a lot of mental issues, and we find that out very quickly. She is emotionally scarred hardcore. So she has a lot of mental breakdowns, and I like the way they depict her breakdowns. So in this scuffle that they have amongst the Firelights, she's fighting the Firelights, and as she's fighting them, we are introduced to Eagle One. Finally, he comes on board, and he's messing things up. He's kicking arse and taking names, and him and his crew are fighting. And as they're trying to blow up all the Shimmer because they realize it's not good. They're like, this isn't good for our community. We want this stuff out of the streets, basically. So they're blowing up this shipment of Shimmer. While they're doing that, Jinx demasks, because they all wear masks. She demasks one of them. They have pink hair like her sister Violet did when they were younger. And she pauses and freaks out and she doesn't almost get killed. She had the gun at the kid, or the other lady who had pink hair. She pauses and freaks out, but then she still pulls the trigger because she realizes it's not Violet. And after that happens, there was a lot of like friendly fire that happened because Jinx was just going crazy with a machine gun, and she ends up hitting some of their people. Savika was also on board, and she gets pissed off of how Jinx was handling the situation. And then we get after that kind of like we get away from that whole scene and we jump to Jace and Victor, who are still on breakthroughs when it comes to Hex technology. They finally refined the Hex crystal. So it's nice, refined crystal that can take blunt force damage and still cause an explosion and be massively beautiful and awesomely powered things and whatnot. So they showcase their new technology to Heimerdinger, who is on the council as well, and a very refined, I'm going to say refined, but he's very old. He's been on the council for a long time. He's got a lot of history. He's one of the founding fathers of Piltover because he can live. I forgot what I put it
300 years old.
Notes. Yeah, he's about 300.
Yeah, he's like 300 some odd years.
So he sees their technology, and he's like, maybe you guys should work on this for like another decade before it goes out. So he's kind of putting a halt to them bringing it out to the masses. And Jace and Victor aren't too happy about that. They're like, but it's ready now. Like, we're ready now. And Heimerdinger's like, maybe probably don't do this because I've seen some pretty horrible things go wrong when people mess with this stuff. Then we meet Caitlin, who we've met from before the time skip, but she wasn't really a mainstay character. So she is an enforcer, a young enforcer on the brink of wanting more for her career. So she
I fuck with Caitlin.
Okay. So she's eager and she wants to crack down on this crime that started. She knows the shipment of explosions that happened with the shimmer. She goes to investigate it. She takes pictures and sees the imagery of what Jinx has left behind and stuff like that. After that whole scene, after getting to meet little Caitlin's ambitious self, we get pulled back into Zon and we see that Silco took over the last drop bar that Vander used to own. And now he's kingpinning all over Zon. He's the main man. When it comes to anything happening in Zon, you got to go through Silco first, basically. He runs the last drop like the Salty Splatoon, is what I wrote in my notes. And let's see. Oh, yeah. So, and they also believe that Violet is dead, which they also call her Vi, because the dirty cop Marcus told Silco, who he's working with, that Violet is dead, but he just had her locked up and he never to see the light of day ever again.
Deepest darks of death.
Deepest darks of the depths. Yeah, he's like, we got her locked up. So he's like, in his mind, I could just tell Silco that she's dead. So Silco believes Violet's dead, and so does Jinx, because Silco, my people said she's dead. So then we get a look into Jinx's little hideout she's got going on, and she's got real bad mental health issues because, man, she's talking to herself. She's telling voices in her head to shut up. She's got dolls in her place that are dressed up like Clagger and Milos around, and she got all her drawings everywhere, and she's just...
That's not allowed for a traumatized kid, though, right, Todd?
She's sick.
Mm.
She's allowed to make those weird decisions.
Go on.
So...
Jace
and Victor, with their discoveries, are offered a seat on the council, or at least Jace is. And Jace starts to embrace this new limelight and kind of leaving Victor behind when it comes to their research. They have kind of things. Victor was still on light that we should bring these new technologies on board and showcase them. And Jace ended up listening to Heimendinger instead of Victor. And he was like, nah, I'm just going to hold back. He's got this newfound fame, basically, kind of leaving his partner behind. And after the attacks on
This is the beginning of the fuck you for Jace.
Okay. Then
that's fair.
Jinx, still upset, having mental health issues from everything that happened with the attack. Silco's like, dude, we need to do something. So she takes matters in her own hand. She plans an attack out on Piltover to lead a bunch of enforcers in there and blow them up. When she does that, it's also a distraction so she can break back into the science labs in Piltover and steal the technology they have not released yet. So the refined hex crystal. When she does that, and now it has put a lot more ambition for Caitlin to really discover what's going on, because it was her first time really getting some action going on, because she was with those group of guards that got blown up. And there was a dozen of them that got killed from that explosion.
Mm.
So now all eyes are on, dang, there's another terrorist attack going on. What's going on? So now the council's curious what's going on. They set more attention towards Zon and figuring what's going on. They have Marcus working on this, unbeknownst to them. They don't know that he's a dirty cop, obviously. So he's working with Silco. They're just trying to make things work out. He's telling Marcus is telling Silco that was crossing the line, but Silco's still bribing him and Marcus is still taking it. And yeah, so Jace has a seat on the council. It was actually after that attack, Jace gets his seat on the council.
Sure.
So Caitlin pursues this investigation on her own because she was told not to. And because of the attack, she was told that she actually lost her job and that her parents, who are higher ups, they're Kiramans, who are also founding fathers of the city. They are basically bribed everyone to get her a job that's more cushiony and more of an office job to keep her out of the streets. So she doesn't like that. She wants to be investigated. She's had this big whole yarn, little display she got going on of who could have done it and whatnot. So she has this big investigation. So she takes matters in her own hands, and she ends up leading her to a prison where she meets Violet, and she's able to.
The only person doing something. Go on.
Who, Violet or Caitlin?
Caitlin.
Okay. So when she meets Violet, Violet's obviously been locked up this whole time skip. Violet's been still being a rough and tough, embracing her brawler lifestyle, even in prison. The same guy she beat up when she was younger got put in prison, and she re-beat the dog shit out of this guy again, breaking his jaw.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, Caitlin originally went to this prison to go talk to that guy because she knew, because he actually got shot from when Jinx and their shipment got attacked by the firelights. So that guy got shot. So Caitlin knew to go question this guy, but she didn't know he was going to get to prison and get his jaw broken by Violet. So she's like, okay, who the hell beat him up and why? Let me go question that person. And that's when Caitlin finally meets Violet. And Violet obviously wants nothing to do with a badge until she sees the investigation papers that have Jinx's artwork on it. So then Violet's like, you know what? I actually do want to know what's going on here. Let me out. And Caitlin's able to get Violet out by using Jace as a councilman. She's like, oh, yeah, I know Jace. Jace, me and him are tight. He's like an older brother to me. Like he's a councilman now, so you can let Violet out. So unbeknownst to Jace, Caitlin uses his name drops him so she can get Violet out of prison, so she can then pursue what's actually going on to figure this investigation out and prove herself as a worthy enforcer. So Silco still working with a dirty cop and them trying to figure out all this stuff. Silco has a really dirty line where the dirty cop's like, yo, we need an answer for this and all this and stuff. And Silco's like, yeah, here's for the families. Give this money to the families, you know? You just get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. So then Jace seems hell-bent on trying to figure out who was behind the attacks, and he's pressing the dirty cop, but the dirty cop's not, budging. And then Victor is still figuring things out with Jace as far as their research goes, and ends up coughing up blood. This is our first signs of Victor's reaching the end of his rung soon.
You ain't doing too good.
He's looking pretty bad.
Yep. Okay, and then we cut back after that. That was a big spot because, we're seeing Victor's getting really bad with his health. Then we cut back to Vi and Caitlin out in the world, and Vi's like, "Let's go to Zon," and she's all like, "I ain't taking no, whatever those things are called. I forgot the Zamboni type thingies. I forgot what they're called. They're like a little trolley that elevates up and down. Whatever. She was gonna take a transportation to Zon, but she's like, "Fuck that. I'm a street rat. I'm going to parkour my way all the way down there." So she parkours her way down there, and Caitlin shortly arrives with her. And then we get some, I think that's when we get Enemy playing from Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, in the bar.
Yeah. We get to look at how Zon has progressed more so after the time skip or whatever. And so they start going on their little investigation. So Violet and Caitlin. She calls Caitlin Cupcake.
Cupcake is crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know why I wrote had that. Anyway, so Vi and Caitlin start going. They start also bonding more a little here and there. Then we go back to Piltover. Mel convinces Jace to go behind Heimerdinger's back so they can get more research, or they can pursue their research and bring it to the people. So he's like, you got to go. Mel's like convincing Jace, you got to go behind Heimerdinger's and get all the other councilmen to be like, yeah, we're cool with this. So he goes and does that. So they go behind Heimerdinger's back, get everything going. We got the dirty cop going back to Silco saying, hey, I found one of these bombs. We're finding more stuff and you need an answer for it. And this part had me dying when I first saw it, because he, in his thought, he just pulls the trigger on the bomb and it shows him explode himself with Silco. And I was like, oh, okay.
I was just dying when I was like, what the fuck? That was crazy.
I was like, that's not how I imagined this would go, but okay.
But okay.
So, yeah, he imagines that, but then Silco sees that the cop is faltering. He's like, all right, you can't really trust him anymore. What's going on with that? And then he's like, Jinx, you need to hurry up and work on that weapon we've been talking about with that new crystal. Jace seals the deal with Mel. Seals that deal with Mel, But while he's doing that, Victor's literally dying. He starts working on this new hex technology, and he's coughing up even more blood and totally passes out and almost dies. So then Jace ends up later on leaving early with his night with Mel, but he's able to get there in time to save Victor and get Victor back into like a medical bed type thing. Then we see Victor's backstory where he's a young, intelligent young boy who is very curious, very smart, building stuff, and that's where he meets the doctor for the first time, Dr. Revik, who's the guy who works with Shimmer. He then becomes a student of his and kind of breaks that studentship pretty quickly when he finds out that the doctor doesn't really care about like life. He only cares about the power of the mutations of his experiments. So he's like, yo, this guy's crazy. I'm actually not cool with this. So young Victor, seen some weird stuff go on, but he's always been ambitious and very smart. Jay states that Victor is like a brother to him. Yeah, Jay states that Victor's like a brother to him to Mel. He's confessed. He's like, Mel, like, look, I didn't want to leave you, but like Victor's like a brother to me, and I need to help him and I need to fix him because he's getting closer to death. So Jinx smells something is wrong after a fight with Savika and Violet break out. So Violet fights Savika, damn near dies from that because Savika starts putting the hands on. But the fight was cool initially. She kneed the hell out of her face to start that thing up. And Savika,
I love that opening scene. I was just like,
Yes.
damn, that's what
for
on
real.
site means right there.
Literally wasted no time. I was not expecting that either. Savika's about to like impale Violet, but Caitlyn ends up shooting her arm and saving Violet. But Violet did get injured in that fight. But because of that, Savika went back to Silco and was like, she's still alive, by the way. And Silco's like, sister. So Silco knows that Violet's still alive. Savika knows Violet's still alive. And they're like, we can't tell Jinx. So Jinx starts seeing that there's like some weird shit going on. So she knows that something's wrong. She's like, hey, I'm going to start asking questions. She starts asking questions. She ambushes Savika, knocks her out, only to wake her up. And Savika's like, look, I'll tell you what the hell's going on. I ain't got nothing to hide. Your sister's alive. And I hope, and she's with this enforcer lady named Caitlyn. And I hope she cracks you like an egg. I hope you go crazy. I hope you go batshit crazy. Where Silco's like, yo, fuck this bitch. So that's Savika's plan, is to hope that Violet just snaps after seeing all this. So Violet, now knowing her sister's alive, is like, dude,
Jinx.
Sorry, Jinx. Whoa, whoops, my bad. Jinx. Sorry, guys. So yeah, Jinx was like, my sister's alive. I gotta go figure out what the hell's going on with that. Now, as Violet's retreating with Caitlyn into more of the Undercity of the Shimmer slums, Echo, unbeknownst to them, is following them with his firelights. So he's keeping a distance. Echo, but we only know him as Eagle One right now. Eagle One is following them. Yeah. And Silco goes, after finding out that Jinx is alive, he makes an even more aggressive show of force to the dirty cop Marcus. He goes to his house and starts playing with his daughter, and he's like, hey, what's going on, man? Oh, cool. Yeah, you want to hear this crazy story I heard about? I heard that Violet's still alive.
This was a dope threat.
This was a very nice threat. The way he was just, that was a nice power play on Silco. He's like, it's crazy how fragile life is, ain't it? Looking at his daughter. So,
and
like,
the disrespect to drop the house at the end.
Dude, that was bogus.
Accidents happen. I was like, oh, he's such a dickhead still.
The dirty cop was like, how? And then Silco's like, I don't know, but there's somebody named Caitlyn with her right now, an enforcer. You might want to look into that. Yeah. Then he was playing with Marcus's daughter, and then he like messes up the thing they were playing with. And was like, yeah, accidents happen. And yep. So now Marcus knows that Caitlyn's involved with Violet's escape. So he's like, I'll take care of it. Victor and Jace discover that Hexcat can now react to organic matter, but it cannot sustain it. And it's a huge discovery, but it's also discouraging. And when they bring it up to Heimendinger, they're like, look, Heimendinger, is this crazy? And he's like, this is the exact shit I saw when shit went south. You guys need to destroy it right now. And they're like, you're just an old man. Fuck out of here. So they're just like, you don't understand. Your life goes, we're just a flash in your eyes. What do you care about us? Like, you don't really care for our best interest, blah, blah, blah. So they get upset about that, but Heimdall's like, you need to
wishy-washy ass motherfucker, man.
So Jace was like, you know what? We can't destroy it. It should be left.
Nobody's convicted in this show except for fucking Caitlyn. The only person, and Silco.
All right. So in the Shimmer Fields, we meet. So Violet she brings her to like her old area where she used to live. Violet brings her and Caitlin, and she ends up getting knocked out from the wound and just being tired and exhausted. Caitlin then goes into the Shimmer. What did I call it? The Shimmer Fields, or what did I call it? Shimmer Slums.
Sure.
She goes into the Shimmer Slums looking for something to heal Violet, and she's like, I need something to help. There's a character we met from in the very beginning in Act 1 named Huck. He used to be friends with their dad, Vander, and now he is a Shimmer fiend. He fiends for any little bit of Shimmer he can get. Super drug fiend. And he actually helps Caitlin find out how she can get some medicine and some Shimmer medicine. So she gets the medicine, and she goes to give it to Violet. Violet gets up. They talk for a little bit, and then they see that Silco has tracked them down, and they tracked him down because that Huck sold him out for some Shimmer. So he's a junkie through and through. Don't matter. He's going to betray them for some Shimmer.
Junkie's going to junk.
Junkie's going to junk. Marcus brings a Jinx bomb to Jace, and he's like, look, he's been second guessing if he should cooperate with Silco or not. But he's like, look, Jace, this is like this bomb we found, and this is like all these different things have been going on. And then Jason's like, all right, well, we'll set up a blockade and checkpoint at the bridge between Piltover and Zaun. Then at the council meeting, Jace calls out Heimerdinger and asks him for him to resign in the form of retirement, and every councilman agrees to Heimerdinger's removal from the council. So Heimerdinger gets cut from the council. All right, and then
Another bitch move by Jace.
Once Silco tracks them down, Vi is able to destroy the tower area that she was living in to slip away. She slips away, and also Jinx at the same time is trying to track down Violet. So she brings a flare that she used to talk about, like if I ever need to find you, light this flare. She lights a flare to Guns for Hire by Woodkid. That song was going hard with that. The
really
flare
cool
was
imagery.
going. The imagery was cycling around Jinx. We see Milos and Clagger dead, like around her. The imagery, the music was great for that scene, but she's lighting the flare. Violet sees it, and we finally get the sisters reunited. And it's short-lived because they're like, I can't believe you're alive. I love you. I'm so happy you're here. Jinx still has a lot of screws loose up here. Catches a glimpse of Caitlin and says, wow, my sister really working with the enforcers. She working with the same people that killed mom and dad. I can't believe this bitch. So she loses her mind. She doesn't know who to trust. She's like, oh, you just want this hex crystal, don't you? You're just using me.
That hex crystal is about as big as Jinx's brain.
Again, traumatized. All kinds of mentally fucked up.
So then
course,
Violet,
she's not going to make
stupid.
She's not going to make what the choices that someone that hasn't gone what she's gone through, you'll make smarter decisions, sure, but her brain's all kinds of fucked.
Yeah, like I'm looking at the time. I really gotta hustle, guys. right. Gonna hustle this. All right. So then their meeting gets interrupted by the Fireflies ambushing them, knocks out Violet and Caitlin, and they grab the crystal. Cause a smoke screen. They're able to grab Violet, Caitlin, and the crystal. Jinx has now got this little reconcilement with Vi and gets it taken away. So Jinx goes back to losing her mind again. We then find out that the Eagle One is Echo. Oh, yeah! And he reveals himself to Violet. They have a touching moment. Victor takes the Shimmer medicine, or Victor went out to talk to the doctor who gave him Shimmer to medicate himself to hopefully help with his research as well. On top of his research with the Shimmer medicine to help him, maybe, who knows what'll happen, but it could save his life. So he takes that medicine and he starts experimenting with it. The Chem Baron, aka the other drug leaders, push Silco to make things right because ever since the blockade happened, they've been losing a lot of shipments in their endeavors. So they're like, look, Silco, you need to do something because I'm losing out money and I'm losing out, my peace of mind. So Silco has to deal with that.
The Asian dude with the cat eyes was dope.
Dope with the gold jaw, dude. That guy was like, this guy
was dope.
I was so mad I didn't put him in your Guess Who characters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that whole like underground shit reminded me a lot of like the Penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all the heads coming together and all that shit. I was like, oh man, this is just the Penguin but animated.
Yeah.
So the blockade that Jace called for has now put distress amongst the citizens of Zaun and Victor himself, because Victor came from Zaun and he was just a very bright child from Zaun. And he's like, dude, why are you being such a dick to these people? They didn't do nothing wrong. Like, I understand there's a lot of evil people there, but there's a lot of good people there too. And he doesn't say all that, but it more or less alludes to that.
Yeah.
Like, Jace, you're being a dick. So Jinx confronts Silco and about Vi, and Silco urges with her. He's like, look, I didn't know she was alive either, but I'm also your family. I basically raised you, like, you need to be out there for me too. And then Violet goes back. Violet and Caitlyn start talking with Echo, being back in his area, because he has like a nice little sanctuary city for all the people of Zaun that don't want to be away from all the evil shit, because there's good people on each side, basically. So Echo agrees to Caitlyn and Vi to return the Hexstone as long as he's the one that gets to return it. So then we have that. Then we have Vi, Caitlyn, and Echo parting ways at the bridge because they're bringing the crystal back. They go to the bridge. They're bringing the crystal to the bridge. And what they didn't know was Marcus was like, you know what? I'm just going to kill you and Caitlyn, to Echo, because they part ways with Violet. Jinx sees all this and sees that Violet's hugging Caitlyn and is like, my sister's a bastard. Hates on her. So then as Echo comes up to the bridge, he sees the enforcer, who happens to be, Marcus at the time. So Marcus is like, yo, give me the crystal. He shows him that he has the crystal and wastes no time and just shoots Echo right there and then. That was fast. I was like, dude, you're crazy that he was just lashed out like that. I was like, that's kind of wild, but it's Marcus who is trying to play both sides, basically. Then you have him hold Caitlyn at gunpoint, but unbeknownst to him, Jinx is about to lay down her firelight explosion massacre, because that thing goes off and kills a bunch of enforcers, including Marcus finally biting the dust to Jinx's explosion. But that explosion also saves Caitlyn's life because she was about to get shot. Now, after that explosion goes off, Jinx goes and grabs the Hex Crystal, and she goes to, Violet comes to run to Caitlyn's rescue because she saw the explosion. She goes there, she grabs Caitlyn, she goes up. Jinx is right there. And my sister with that evil bitch. And the way I love this scene, because when she looks at Caitlin's like, all hurt and stuff. But the way she saw her was that grin.
Devil grin. That was so good.
I love the way they showed that. So she was like, oh, no, fuck this bitch. So she actually went to go kill them, and she shoots at them, and Echo comes swooping in on the hoverboard. And this was my favorite moment in the show, first season. The fight between Echo and Jinx.
It's the best
music that plays. The little,
how they were flashing back between the kid and
that
scene was a really cool scene.
It's so dope.
Yeah, it shows them as kids, and it shows them going through this little fight choreography, like with a couple frames per second going through. It's all like painted and whatnot, and then it shows that Echo gets shot and killed in this little playthrough, and then it rewinds back to what actual reality, and he does everything in that segment except for he switches up his last attack and hits the crap out of her with his like crowbar, and he starts putting the hands on Jinx. He's clobbering her, and I was like, dang. And he goes to like, look, he's gonna like end it all, and he sees Jinx all injured and hurt, and he pulls his punch in time for Jinx to pull a bomb and explode herself and Echo. And Silco ends up finding Jinx there and grabbing Jinx, and he sees that she still has the crystal. All right. Then we get into Mel's ruthless backstory. She has a rough upbringing. Her mom's very cutthroat. Shows that she shows no mercy. Her mom wants that for her. When Silco saved Jinx, he brought her to the doctor, and the doctor is going to use Shimmer experiments to save Jinx's life. Finn, the gang leader, reaches out to Savika to turn coat on Silco to form a coup. Then you have Mel's mother also overreaching her boundaries to talk to, because she visited and came to Piltover, and she basically wants their technology there for fighting. She wants that hex technology for weapons. A weapon. Yeah. Right. Because she has enemies on her side that she needs to take care of. So she overreaches and confronts Jason, convinces him to like pull through with his, like, actually develop his weapons that he wants and have a backbone more so than he should. And Caitlyn gets an opportunity to present the case with Violet to the council, like everything that happened, but it doesn't go well because they all have different ideas of how things should be handled, and nobody agrees to agree with each other, basically. Then we have Echo after the explosion crosses path with Heimendinger, who, after being banished, went to Zahn to see how bad it was, and nobody respects him. So he's like, I don't know if I'm even wanted here. But he meets Echo, which is probably the best person for him to meet, because Echo is able to bring him to his sanctuary area, show him where all the decent, like, people who still treat people with respect are in Zahn. Okay, so Victor starts to experiment even more with the shimmer and all that stuff with his body. So much so that his assistant Sky, who had feelings for him, goes to check on him, sees that he's like touching this hex Cora and like spazzing out, and she goes to try to pull him away from him, and it just disintegrates the hell out of her, killing her.
Yeah, vaporizes her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So because of Victor's endeavors, it kills Sky, his assistant. My bad. Shout out some water. Vi teams up with Jace because she's like, look, you're the only one in the console that said anything that was worth a damn in my eyes. So she's like, you're developing weapons. Let me help you take down Silco and attack his shimmer supply, because that's the real problem. If you take that down, all the gang leaders will turn on him and they'll take him out for us. So then Jace was like, you know what? Let's do it. So he creates this crazy ass hammer and he lets her use the gauntlets. All right. So then they go and they attack the shimmer supply. And the scene was crazy because we see a lot of the shimmer beasts now have armor and weapons on themselves, and they're like even crazier. But Jinx and Violet and Jace are just going through with these weapons, just demolishing them like nothing, though. Still, because like especially his hammer, it's not only is it a hammer, it's a blast. It's got like a blaster on the tip of it. He just keeps
he like used it as a gun.
So he's getting happy. He's like, yeah, I'm fucking shit up, and he ends up hitting I wouldn't say totally innocent, but it's a child worker, so it's innocent enough. But this kid is still working in the shimmer thing, so I don't know. His mom's also one of the gang leaders, so I'm sure he knows somewhat of what he's doing, but he's still a kid.
Wasn't that also the kid that hit the alarm to like?
It was the kid that hit the alarm to set off the. So they're able to destroy
a little shit.
They're able to destroy a lot of the shimmer, but Jace ends up blind firing and killing this kid. And everyone sees this and sees that Jace is responsible for this. And they're like, dude, this dude's crazy. He's not for the people. Okay. So then we also find out that Jinx is now alive, and Caitlyn was in the bathroom taking a bath, and Jinx ambushed her and kidnapped her. And she got some like violet eyes now. Then we have Rennie, who is one of the gang leaders, demands Silco that he needs to do something about it because that was her son who died from Jace's attack. And she's like, the other gang leaders are not going to have any respect for you. Victor mourns Sky's death after reading her heartfelt message that she wrote for him. And he's like, what have I done? I need to destroy this technology. He goes to destroy it. He can't pull through with it. And then it like zaps him because it's that hex core is now connected to his whole body, and it reacted. Mel approaches her mom about convincing Jace to attack, and Ambessa is on pursuit for better weapons to deal with for her problems and her enemies, so she doesn't care. She's like, well, I did what had to be done. Victor gets ready to end it all because of everything that happened with his assistant dying and his life just not getting any better, so he's standing on the edge about to jump off, and Jace saves him this time, and he hits him with the same line of, am I interrupting? And then he sits down and he talks to Victor, and him and Victor talk back and forth about like, I'm sorry we let things go out of hand, but we really do need to destroy this core. They agree on destroying the core, and that's when we leave off with them. Then we go back to Finn, Rennie, and Savika, who it looks like they formed this coup to go against Silco. They approach Silco with the coup. Finn is kind of leading this coup, and he's like, look, you're dead. You're actually dead, dude. You're gonna die. So Savika lifts up her arm and she slices Finn's throat. So she kills the cool gold jaw lighter dude. Finn. And after seeing that, Randy was like, what the heck? Like, I thought you were on our side, but she sees that Savika still has, allegiance, loyalty to Silco. And then Silco drops one of the coolest lines after that. He goes, dope. I would have had your son killed for this, but then I suppose we're what do you say? We're ahead on that schedule or something like that. Yeah, we're ahead on that.
Loved that. I was like, and then you just told her to leave. I was like,
yeah,
I fuck with that.
He's not, So Jace decides to end all the bullshit and just reach out to Silco directly and was like, look, we just need a broker priest. What can we do? So they both have demands. Silco's demands are that they get a free trade route, a blanket amnesty to most of all their civilians who have any records, unrestricted access to the Hex Gate, sovereignty, and a seat at the council. And Jace was like, what the hell? Well, if we do this, will you discontinue the product of Shimmer, return the Hexstone, and turn in Jinx? He's like, you need to turn in Jinx. And Silco's like thinking about it. So he's like, I don't know if I could do that. He goes to Vander statue. He's like, dude, this being a parent thing is hard, man. And he kind of sounds like he's going to betray Jinx. So Jinx actually was eavesdropping, and then she kidnaps Silco there. Heimendinger sees the beauty of the sanctuary city what Echo has built, so he aligns more with Echo now. Savika and Vi have their round 2. And this, like, I remember like being like excited for this, but then I forgot why I didn't like this fight. Because this fight was cool, but I don't like how it ended because Vi pulls up a guard and she gets a force field that never happened before with these gauntlets and gets lucky and now gets this opportunity to rip off Savika's arm and get her lucky punch in. And I was like, that was dirty. Get force field over here. Anyway, after
but
that
it's okay for the other girl to just be juicing up every time. Just oh shit. Oh, I got fucked up. Oh shit, I got fucked up.
I guess that's fair. All right, fair enough. Savika, that name's cool. You can remember that one. Savika with the arm. Yeah, juicing up. All right, anyway. Then right after she wins this fight, Jinx ambushes her and kidnaps her as well. Jace brings the broker to peace to the council, and they were not having it at first. They're just yelling at him. They're like, are you crazy? We're not going to fucking help out Silco. Like, that's stupid. Then we get invited to Jinx's tea party, which is at the crux of our season 1. Vi, Caitlyn, and Silco are all tied up, and Jinx is having this crazy mental breakdown. Caitlyn, while this breakdown's happening, Caitlyn breaks free. She holds a gun to Jinx, and then Jinx uses Shimmer Dash. Snatches that motherfucker and knocks out Caitlyn. And then she's holding the gun up, not knowing what to do. And Silco and Violet are just yelling at her, like, no, you gotta, like, I'm still your sister. Remember your family. And Silco's like, I raised you. You need to help us. We have big plans ahead of us. And as she's like just freaking out, doesn't know what to do, there was a gun in front of Silco. Silco breaks free, grabs the gun, aims it at Violet. Jinx snaps out of it for a second and just starts firing towards Silco for him to drop the gun or maybe just to kill him. Or I don't know kind of how that all ended up going on, but she ends up killing Silco with those shots, and she freaks out because that was like a father figure to her. So now she just lost another father figure to her and freaking out, spazzing out, doesn't know what to do, and just says, you know what, fuck it. I am Jinx. I'm never going to be powder, and I would never make you happy, Violet. And she takes the Hex Crystal and goes off because she has her weapon. Her weapon is
Silco also tells her when he's dying that he would have never
I did write
betrayed
that
her.
down. Yep. Yeah, he said, what is exactly?
I would have never given you to them.
He would have never sold her out, and that she is perfect.
Because she is.
And just so she grabs her weapon, which is a big ass rocket launcher with the powered by the Hex Crystal, or the refined Hex Crystal. And as Violet or Caitlyn, I guess, wakes up a little too late to get Vi out of it, and they're stumbling out of that little hideout just right in time for Jinx to shoot this rocket just as the council was voting in favor for everything to go right with Zahn. They were like, you know what, we'll heed to his demands, we'll let them have a seat at the council, we'll give them amnesty, we'll do everything they said. They're all voting in favor. As they all vote in favor, that rocket crashes right through the window. And that was another scene that was so beautifully shot. The music playing, what could have been by Sting singing it, fantastic. Love that scene. Love the imagery. It's very beautiful. But once again, like I said, after the first act, it's truly one of those, you have everything going up and they put the jingle the keys of hope right in front of you just to snatch it away. We thought things were going to be fine once again, but then Jinx the whole situation by blowing up the council, and that's how it ends, and that's where we're left off.
Oh, yeah.
So, I did not think this was going to go on this long. I apologize, guys. We just got a couple more things we got to talk about.
Yeah.
And finally, that just being kind of our thoughts on the whole situation. What did you guys think of the show in total? This is where you guys can totally go off about how you feel about whatever character and your rating.
I've already been sprinkling it in there. That's all. I've said what I need to say.
All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty adamant about it. The best thing about Vi was her talking to Jace in that shimmer refinery when he was like, I'm a part of this. I can't do this. And she was like, why? Because of one dead kid? I was like, dude, pop off. Like, fuck that kid, first of all. This guy doesn't know what it is to be in the trenches like this. So that was when I was like, yeah, talk your shit, girl. I really like her tattoo, the fucking Roman numerals. That shit goes hard. Yeah, Jace, I did not like. I struggled with this show. I'm hoping that it picks up in the second season because I don't like any of the characters. Like, none of the characters are like worth being.
Do you have a favorite?
Again, I guess it would be Caitlyn because she's the only person who has been from the beginning to the end who she is. She's never like, oh, should I do this or oh, should I do that? Like having a fucking mental quarrel. No, she just stands on what she believes in, what she has done from the entire time from the beginning. And yeah, Jace fucking
what a privilege. What a privilege to be able to have that. Fuck her and her family.
How is that a privilege? Jace has that privilege. He's a councilman, and then he only does whatever the fuck he wants that is good for him in that moment.
And that's who he is.
Yeah. That's a bullshit cop out. I'm all set on that being a privilege thing. No, she just has a great fucking character build.
You like how I threw that curveball when you were guessing characters?
Just had everything given to her.
I asked you who Eagle 1 was and who Echo was, not knowing that they're both the same people.
Yeah, that was so clever.
What'd you think of Echo, though? No?
Echo was dope.
You don't get enough Echo in season 1. That's the problem.
That's fair. Yeah. My favorite character from season 1 was Victor.
Oh, he was a nobody to me.
Yeah,
I liked his research. I was like, damn, he's struggling. I was like, this man.
Yeah. I don't care about Jace. I just hate Vi and I love Jinx. That's all.
Yeah. And the big thing at the end, I was just like that's a real big, like, holy shit. But I was just like, okay. Like, more people died. Like, fuck it. Because I don't have any attachment to them. Like, even Mel and all that. Like, I don't know. I just don't have any attachment to them. So I'm hoping that it picks up in the second season. But yeah, right now it's just fuck everybody. They're all stupid. Like, everyone is just dumb.
Did you know the voice actress for Jinx, Ella Perel? She is the main actress in the Fallout TV series.
Oh, no shit.
She's out here smashing it for these video game adaptations right now.
Dude, good for her.
And then Violet's voice actress is Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, no shit.
Yep. I thought that was pretty sick. Yeah. They did a fantastic job. But
so yeah, that's just Todd, where I stand right now. The show is just
you got a rating? Season 1, Arcane.
I feel like I'm gonna have to go with like a 6.9.
Damn. Okay. I honestly
thought you were gonna rate it lower.
I thought he would rate it higher. I thought he would really like the imagery and the music.
That's why it's as high as it is. Because I really enjoyed certain scenes, like you said, the imagery of her holding that shit up and having Milo and fucking Tagore on her. I was like, damn, that looks pretty dope. And there were some scenes where I'm just like, it looks visually beautiful. The music was pretty good. The only time that it like really, really stuck out to me, like you said, that like, holy shit, they incorporated the music into this and it made it feel like that, was with the main song Enemy, like walking through is like seeing, like you said, the 7 years or whatever it is later of the last drop and seeing how everything has came out about. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, just I struggle because I don't care about the characters and I don't care about like the story building behind them. So I don't have any emotional attachment to those kids when they died. And I felt that coming. And so I just wasn't like, oh shit, like what's going to happen next? The only thing that I'm like, what's going to happen next with is the fucking Arcane. Are we ever going to get to see a fucking wizard doing some crazy shit? Or is it literally just that in the beginning? Obviously you don't have to answer that question. I'll figure that out in the second season, but that's where like my mind is. I'm like, are we ever going to get to the point to where we're actually seeing like magic and not just drugs that are making people go crazy. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I really thought Todd would end up at least walking out of this picking either Violet or Jinx, but I guess not. That's crazy.
no. Yeah, I don't fuck with either of them right now.
Derek,
I do like Violet's like brawling, like all her fights.
fight
and
scenes
whatnot
are
The
done
fight
really well.
scenes
Yeah.
are cool. Yeah.
All, and that's another reason why I have it rated as high as I do, because the fight scenes they're fucking good, man. Even like you said, you weren't a fan of her fighting Savika, but say what you will, when she caught her and then ripped her arm off and punched her into the wall or the jukebox, I was like,
great.
Yo, that shit was dope.
Yeah, I just thought it was cheesy that she got a force field. I was like, this motherfucker.
She was using some shit that she ain't never used before.
I'm not hating it.
It probably has
like
even more
capabilities, right?
Yeah, even more capabilities, but yeah, who knows?
All right, Derek, what do you rate the show for season 1?
Season 1, I 8.5.
Damn. I found out that I'm a sucker when it comes to music played into these shows. Like when music's just playing and hitting right, I'm just like, I guess I just eat it up even more. I couldn't think of anything wrong with the show either on top of that for season 1. So I legit just gave it a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I was very attached to a lot of the characters. I love the imagery, the art. I was a huge fan of the artwork for the 3D.
The art was
2D
beautiful.
animation with
it
it.
was beautiful.
That was a great way to blend it.
And I like how vibrant, like, because most of the show is shot in, or like where like a lot of the action is, it's shot in the Undercity, to where it's like dark and gray and slummy and garbage. But when you see like those vibrant colors of the purple, the blues and shit, I'm like, holy shit, this looks dope. Yeah.
And I think I'm a sucker for the music for sure, because I think I've realized that when it comes to any like media, I might do the way the song played in with it. Just like Attack on Titan is so huge for me because of the certain scenes with that. That's one of the best, I think, sound and track scored like shows out there. The way the songs go hit for Attack on Titan, I'm just like, like just way more involved and excited for it. But I think season 1 did such a good job of that, and I honestly, I don't know. Like I agree with you guys. I feel like you have valid takes. I mean, if you didn't feel attached to them, then you didn't. But me, man, I was a sucker for all of them. I was like, dude, this is great. Like I feel where they're both coming from. So I didn't like really have a dog in the fight as far as Caitlyn or Vi to begin with, at least. In season 2, that's a different story, but we'll get to that next week. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. Yeah. Now, to like wrap things up, I think that's more or less wrapping things up, unless anybody else had anything else want to share about that. Oh, no. Anybody on the viewers or guys who anybody who watches this, Jesus, I'm losing my words. It's getting late. Anybody who watches this, because I'll make this as a video, we'll go through it. If you guys have any thoughts or what you guys would rate it, what issues you had with the first season of Arcane, what you liked, what you didn't like, sound off in the comments, and we'll bring them up. If you guys put them out there, we'll read them out later. Talk about them.
You're crazy for saying she could do no wrong. Every decision she makes is the wrong decision.
It's okay.
Like it's a 50-50 chance. Do the opposite, and it's the right decision. That's how I have to.
They're both the right decision. Don't shoot the console. Shoot the console. I don't care.
Yeah, that one was like the biggest thing, and I had the least amount with that. I was like, yeah, fuck it, go ahead, do that, sure. There's probably too much power in all of that too. We found out that all of them were corrupt anyways, but like everything leading up to that, crazy.
All right, Todd. So we guys have a couple questions for you about season 2. We're gonna ask Todd some questions about season 2 before he goes through with seeing season 2, because he just pulled the trigger on seeing season 1. So some of these questions, Todd, I'm sorry, Derek. I'm just gonna try to go through this as quick as possible. I know it's getting really late.
I'll rattle them off, Derek. I got you.
All right. What do you think you will rate the show second season based off of what you've seen from the first?
7.5.
Okay. Who do you think will survive the blast at the end of season 1, or do you think they're all dead?
I would assume Jace does. I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep and woke up and heard Caitlyn crying about her mom being gone, so I know she's gone, and that's about as much as I have.
Okay.
So I would assume Jace is gonna be back, but if they actually killed him off, I'd be like, yes.
All right, right on. All right, then I have it prepared this time, or I thought I did. What the hell did it go? Why is it not there? Sorry. Oh,
Any new characters for me to name?
yes, and that's what I wanted to do. And it should have been. I had it pulled up and ready.
Not the
Where did it
technical
go?
difficulties.
Oh
Derek's
my
over
god,
here like, fuck you, Adam. Fuck you.
this sucks. What the hell? Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm sorry, guys. Why isn't this popping up? It worked last time. I had the window up, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, we're ready to go." Now this is dumb.
Oh,
Okay.
also, Act 2 didn't really feel like an act. I don't know if you guys felt like that too, but like Act 1, when it ended, I was like, okay, that felt like
an end of an act.
yes. When
I
Act
think
3 ended, that felt like when
the first
6 ended, I was like, nah.
The first episode of Act 3, which was the one where they were at the bridge, that should have been the end of Act 2. The bridge fight with Echo and Jinx.
Yes.
I felt the same way. That's definitely something I have like thought of.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. All right.
That was just
I
a
think we're
random
gonna do it
side
this
note.
way. All right, Todd. Character. Give him a name. Goleman. Okay.
Mary. Bruce. Sky. Wrinkle. Oh, she looks kind of dope, actually.
Yes, it does.
Malenka. I hate that. Ivan. Oh shit. Dramor. Is that's not Caitlyn, right? No, she's got purple hair. Sierra. Vex. I can't even tell if this is a man or a woman. Let's just go with Alex. Unisex name. Corvell. Oh, this is one of the guys from
He was in the first season.
yeah, the green
Firelight.
guys. Yeah, the Firelights. All I can think of is fucking Man Bat.
Batman. All right, that was it.
Yeah, I'll just go with Man Bat then. Fuck it.
Whoops.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yo.
Who was that, Todd? I'm joking. All right. What was the final question we had for him after that? Was any other characters you think will live and die in season 2?
That are currently alive, that like
Yes.
for sure.
That yeah.
Victor.
These are deaths you're guessing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Victor will die. One of the sisters. One of them has to die. Like with the way this shit goes, if one of them doesn't die, that will drop my rating. I'll tell you that right now. If one or both of them doesn't die.
Okay.
Pick one.
Pick one? I would assume Violet.
If you say
I would assume Violet's gonna die.
Okay.
Yeah, because it'll be some stupid courageous act to save her dumb fucking sister, and then it'll suits. Yeah. The furry guy, Heimendinger, I think he'll finally die.
Okay.
Being how old he is, it'll be a real big thing. Like, holy shit, he's been around forever, and then he finally dies. Because he wasn't in that room, right? If I remember correctly, because he wasn't.
No, he was with Echo.
Yeah, he was with Echo in the tree at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think Savika, she's gonna survive the entire show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that was it. That was our review. I see how long that took. This is one of our longest episodes, period. Like, that's cool.
That's cool.
Let me fucking whoops.
We'll make sure we cut out some of the
I'll
extra
kind of make
bullshit
sure
in the
my
front and the front half next time.
This next time I'm going over it,
We can. I don't mind doing the
point.
in-depth. Like, I enjoyed having it, like the story time and whatnot. But yeah, we'll just cut out the fucking video game bullshit ahead of it.
Yeah. So there we go. I put it on outro, Derek. Derek's no, we're at the finish line.
Yes.
Sorry, brother.
I gotta be up in 3 hours.
Ooh, I feel you on that. So do I, because I gotta get my kids to school.
I am off tomorrow, so I'm gonna start grinding some camos.
Nice. All right. We'll go more into this. You guys will hear from us next week. We'll cover the season 2. We'll do it quicker, but we'll also make sure it's still in depth and we'll have fun with it. Got some.
That's basically all I have for the outro. Is like, if you guys want to be a part of it, so hop in the chat. I'm gonna be watching season 2 this week. So next week, primarily is going to be talking about season 2. So be ready to be in the comments, giving us shit about all of our takes, telling Derek how wrong he is about Jinx.
Thank you for watching it, though, Todd. I do.
Just
taking time out to watch this is appreciated.
No problem.
All right, let's sign us out. Let's get us out of here.
Yeah. That being said, everyone, this has been TheLazySusan, where we rotate around your favorite topics such as gaming, music, movies, TV, all that fun stuff. My name is Todd, here with Derek and Adam, your co-hosts. We'll see you next week on Thursday. Have a great evening.
Take it easy, guys.